I mean, this is a sport that's on the precipice of irrelevance.
The games are taking over 3.5 hours. Playoff games are taking over 4 hours.
Game's too long, too slow. Who cares?
This is a situation where baseball's in trouble to begin with.
The MLB is officially dead.
Baseball's dead.
Rest in peace.
It's a brand new podcast. We're back. Dallas is back. I feel like the intro to episode 1 is going to be a lot of word vomit because I feel like there were so many different questions that have been asked over.
Can I say it? Say
what?
Can I just say it?
Say it.
It's going to feel good to say it.
What are you going to say?
Let's go!
First and foremost, shout out to DraftKings.
Holla.
It's our new home. We're over at DraftKings now doing the show. Yeah, I feel like we got asked a fuck ton of questions. I mean, up until, what was it? What's today? Tuesday? We're recording this on Tuesday. People didn't even know if Dallas and I were doing a podcast together. We are.
We are.
It's brand new. So can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say the thing now?
Please say the thing. Do the thing.
I hated the name Starting Nine. I hated it. I didn't like it. It was so generic and it was just handed to us. I didn't like it. So the entire time I was thinking of like rebranding, like what could we call the show? I love the name the name Baseball is Dead because if you're a baseball fan, you find yourself oftentimes defending the sport of baseball. There's so many baseball is boring, this and that. So when people are something bad happens in the sport of baseball, which just happened with the lockout, it will inevitably happen again. Immediately, all the people that do not like baseball say, "Oh, well, baseball's dead. It's a dead sport." Well, now it's free marketing for your favorite baseball podcast. Anytime someone says baseball is dead, we're taking back the phrase. Go right ahead. Say baseball is dead. It's going to keep thriving.
Just keep breathing
That's
that
number
life.
one.
Keep breathing that life into us.
Thanks for the free ad. Number 2, we have a new third mic.
Boom, baby.
And I don't even know, like, so here's the thing. People will ask me, do you watch or do you listen to other baseball podcasts? I don't. I really don't listen to other baseball podcasts. But I do consume baseball content on YouTube. I like to watch a bunch of different baseball YouTubers. And in the process of doing that, I was like, well, you know, if you can talk baseball on YouTube, you can definitely talk baseball on a podcast.
Sure.
And my favorite baseball YouTuber is Baseball Doesn't Exist. I was like, this channel's fucking great. I watch every single video. They're like 20 minutes long. I'll sit through all of them. I wait. They're like when mixtapes drop. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not like, oh, new podcast every Monday and Thursday, which is what you'll get with Baseball is Dead. So I don't even know. Like, I'm gonna leave it up to you if you even want to say your real name. You've never done a face reveal before.
No.
You've never done a podcast.
Oh, can't imagine why.
And now, before this, does anyone even know? Because I didn't know your name.
No one knows my name except you. You didn't know what I looked like. That's why it's weird being here on this podcast. I think, anyone who knows my channel is going to be like, what? Why the fuck is he on this? You know, like this is random that I'm on. But I mean, you asked me to be on this. You don't know what I look like. You don't know anything about me. I mean, we DM'd. No. Dallas doesn't even follow me on Twitter.
No. Full disclosure, if we're being completely honest, 3.5 minutes ago, I believe I called him Jake, and Jake is not the individual I was referring to. It was Joey.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dallas probably hasn't even watched one of my videos.
Have you, Dallas?
If we're in the trust tree, no, I haven't.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to do that.
We'll have to make a video about him.
Yes,
that would actually be a good video.
I don't know if that's good or bad based on the content here.
I think you could we could make a good Dallas Braden video. If we get the inside scoops on you,
I'm sure you could.
The first interview on March, that would be big.
If you need information, if you need the real information, just let me know.
I can get it from Dallas.
Be happy to provide.
We're boys now.
Yeah, we're fucking boys. You kidding me? Come on.
We're on the pod.
We pottying, homies.
So for anyone who doesn't know you or your channel, just, tell the people. Tell them what's up.
It's called Baseball Doesn't Exist. I make a video probably every 2 weeks about baseball. I've been doing it for about 1.5 years. It's great. It started with compilations. Now it's like, video essays. And I basically just talk about things I think is interesting to me. Like I'm more like not really like, I won't make videos about going on about someone's stats. It's more about like what is interesting. What if someone gets in a fight? To me, that's interesting.
Fuck yeah.
That's fun to watch. And that's, more about a person's personality. Everyone says that baseball doesn't market their players. No one knows their personality, which is true in a lot of ways, but they all have big personalities. But I mean, even like casual to even more than casual baseball fans can know a big player. They don't really know all the inside sources, inside stories, or anything about them. And it's like hard to find everything. It's all scattered. I think I just put it in one place.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great approach.
I love that.
I just focus on what is like probably the most interesting thing. Like, does anyone really want to hear what a player's OPS plus is every single year of their career?
Not really.
Or do you want to hear them like, they kind of got in a fight one time?
Yo, or if this dude's doing body shots off somebody in a bar and there's video footage of that, fucking give it to me.
Put it out.
Josh
If it was
Donaldson
video.
tries.
Give it to me.
Also, you left out a big note. You're a Braves fan.
That's right. World champions.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's a Braves fan. We needed an NL guy, Dallas.
We did.
We needed an NL guy. I think not that people were tired of hearing an East Coast, West Coast, AL specific argument all the time, especially now that the Oakland A's are going to be completely irrelevant for the 2022 season. We needed to bring in
4 minutes into this.
a representation of a team that has a chance to win a title. So that's where Joey comes in. Baseball Doesn't Exist as the YouTube channel. He's a Braves guy, but he's an MLB guy. I think it's a great fit. Welcomed addition. I'm excited to have him on board. And also, I get whatever. If you listened to Section 10, then you're familiar with Jake. Jake is also on Baseball is Dead. He will be producing for us. He'll be producing all the content that I'm doing over at DraftKings. An idea that I talked about with Dallas at the All-Star game in Denver was that I wanted to do a stream. I wanted to do a live stream, and I actually tweeted about it one night. I was like, well, I'm sitting in front of these fucking 9 TVs every single night, watching every single game from 7 o'clock until the end of the night. And I was like, I might as well just turn on a camera. It's not extra work for me. I'm already doing it. I'm already committing the time to sitting in front of the TV and watching all these games. We might as well stream while we're doing it. So Jake will be producing that stream. I'm going to be having guests. I've already talked to a few people in this area. Like Lou Merloni was like, fuck yeah, I'll pop over and I'll sit on the couch with you and we'll do a stream together. So he'll do some stuff with me. I'm going to have the ability to zoom in other individuals. So this is the thing with me. No one, and this isn't like an arrogant statement. It might come out as arrogant. Nobody is a threat to me. If you cover baseball, I want to be friends with you. I want you in the mix. So if you're at a different company, I know that like Barstool people are apparently not allowed to speak to me anymore. That's okay. I get Dave's side of it. That's fine. But in terms of if you're a YouTuber, if you're a podcaster, because I know people were asking about John Boy. They also have a deal with DraftKings. No, I'm not going to John Boy, but will Dallas and Joey and Jake and I be doing stuff with the John Boy guys? I fucking hope so. It sounds like the skids have been greased for that blending of personalities. And if that happens, I'm very excited. I'm very happy to do it. It has been kind of discussed a little bit because I know people were speculating about the John Boy connection. So hopefully that happens. But that stream, I believe, will be on Tuesday nights because that's when the full slate is. I mean, the other full slate would be a Friday, and I'm sure people are out living their lives in the weekend. So it's going to be Baseball is Dead twice a week, just like the old show. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to drop on Mondays and we're going to drop on Thursdays so that you can get the reaction to the weekend games. We can... and then on the Thursday show, we'll recap everything that happened that week and then look ahead to the weekend ahead for those games. And then that Tuesday night stream, I'm pretty fucking excited about that. There's actually a surprise personality that you've never met before that will be a part of the Tuesday night streams. I'm very excited to introduce him to the world. He's never done content before, but he's very excited to get into the mix. Have I told you about this, Dallas?
Yes, I'm aware of. Yes.
Okay. All right. So he'll be there. I believe I'll also be doing a wrestling podcast, and it's not one of those like looking back and, you know, I'm not, because I got to fucking watch baseball. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I think it's going to be more kind of like an evergreen wrestling podcast. I'm excited to kind of bring that into the mix. And then everyone was obviously asking, what's the deal with Section 10? Is there going to be a Red Sox podcast? Yes, there is going to be a Red Sox podcast. As of right now, I still have no idea what it's called. Jake.
Section 510. I feel like it's an easy
it sucks because I mean like we talked about like starting nine is like that was like a generic name that kind of like the whole starting nine thing was me in Dallas. Section 10 that meant something to me. It's, you know, it's where I sat. It's still where I sit. It's where I have my seats. So we're still kind of like, I don't know what the fuck to do with the name. But will there be a Red Sox podcast? Yes. It also will be twice a week. It'll basically be the podcast that you knew before. Much like Baseball is Dead, I will be introducing another brand new co-host. There will be some familiar pieces. If you listen to Section 10, those people will be familiar to you, but also adding in some new blood as well. I'm very excited for that show too. But the thing with Baseball is Dead, I think when we started last year really hyping up college baseball, like we're going to have, like it's like it says MLB podcast, but it's a baseball podcast. You know, like we've got friends that are now playing in Korea. We've got friends that are playing in Japan. We have baseball, like college baseball experts that we've become friends with over the last couple of years because, you know, I started to dip my toe in the water there. Dallas obviously has connections to people in the college baseball world. So there will be time for that. Of course, we're going to cover Major League Baseball, but I think the lockout and the pandemic shortened season, what it really opened my eyes to was like, hey, there's some really fucking cool baseball being played, not just in Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. And we'd love to shed some light on that. So We'll be doing that. We'll also, like I said, be bringing in people like people are very interested in baseball cards right now. You might hear someone that is big in that space. The baseball card space, the baseball YouTubers, other baseball content creators. The door is open. It's no longer, hey, we're going to have a player here, a player there, maybe a Barstool personality. The door is open to everyone. If you love baseball, you got a home and it's right here. So I'm excited about the launch. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it. That's the take home message is baseball is not fucking dead. And we are here to continue to show you and continue to prove to the people who love this game that is far from the case. So to your point, Jared, having all of these people who love the game the way we do, as much as we do, if not more, they don't all just crunch numbers and talk OPS, Joe, you son of a bitch. What they do is they enjoy baseball. They create baseball content in many different forms and fashions. And to sort of have a landing place for all of that energy, for that whole baseball lovers vibe, that's what we have been aiming to do. That's what we were able to do for a very long time, is establish the relationships we had, bring those voices and personalities directly to you, because we understand that people are a big fan of hearing it from the horse's mouth. And so we try to load as many stallions in our stable as we possibly could to let them chew on the cud and you could swallow it. So that's basically what's going to happen, just in a lot of different ways now.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we're recording this on Tuesday. I think we're dropping this on opening day. So happy opening day. If you're listening to this on opening day, of course, this isn't just going to be one episode about, all like the back end shit. We're going to be doing our predictions. If you listen to Starting Nine, every single year we'll drop our predictions, and then we'll say that we're going to go back at the end of the year and see who is right and who is wrong. We never did for 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. For 5 seasons, I don't think we ever did that. So Jake, I'm gonna put you in charge of all of our picks. We're going to be doing divisions, awards, the whole deal. Maybe even we pick the pennant. Maybe when we pick the World Series winner. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we get there. But the one thing I forgot to add was with the stream, like I said, we're going to have the ability to bring people in. So someone like Dallas, congratulations, full-time A's broadcaster, Dallas.
Hey, let's go. That's right, baby. That's right.
Yeah. So say the stream starts at 7, which is what we're shooting for out here on the East Coast. I will have the ability to bring in, like we're watching the games. We can also drop in Dallas. Maybe he's on the field for batting practice before the game. Maybe he goes over and grabs someone on the other team because no one recognizable is on the Oakland A's anymore. So whoever's in town as the opposing team, Dallas can go grab them. And also, I know that people are probably asking for the visual aspect of this show and the other shows that we'll be doing. I believe, Jake, these shows will exist on the DraftKings YouTube page?
Yeah, it'll be under the DraftKings YouTube and it'll be linked to your channel. So it'll be your page, but under DraftKings.
Okay, so I'll have a YouTube channel and then those videos will be linked to the DraftKings. We'll figure it out. Hey, we're all learning together here. It's new, it's brand new, but we're excited. So that's that. And I don't know. Are there any other thoughts, Joey, Jake?
No, man, I'm excited.
He's fucking excited.
I don't know. I don't know how you can't get excited feeling that kind of fucking energy coursing through his veins, coming through your camera right now.
Well, someone needs to balance us out. That was the whole thing. I was like, Joey, listen, I know that you know baseball. I know that you're a smart guy. I know that you're a baseball content creator, but we need a referee. Me and Dallas will argue about some sort of semantics battle for 25 fucking minutes and no conclusion will be drawn whatsoever. We need the balanced, level-headed person to step in and just give the vote. When there's two people and they disagree, nobody wins. So Joey has been brought in not only to give his perspective and analysis and a National League perspective as well, but he's also the deciding vote whenever there's a debate, and those will come, which also I talked to DraftKings about this as well. I think what will be really cool about this is that when Dallas and I inevitably are arguing, like last year we had, I don't even know who won. I think I did. Nolan Arenado versus Paul Goldschmidt for most homers.
Ooh, yeah, it was Nolan. It wasn't Goldie.
Yeah, it was
but
Nolan.
Goldie made a hell of a fucking run there at the hell of a run.
Yeah, they were neck and neck for a little bit. So anything that Dallas and I happen to disagree on, we can now turn that into something that we can put on the sports book with DraftKings.
Love that.
You can ride with me. You can ride with Joey. You can ride with Jake. You can ride with Dallas. It all depends on where those lines in the sand are eventually drawn. Right now, we haven't even talked about baseball yet, so there's been no room to disagree. But when we get there, and we will get there, I feel like that's a partnership with the sports book.
Yeah, for the folks who were in the DM group last year when we were talking picks, if you're interested in money, all I would say is you should probably listen to what I have to say a little closely.
Well, no, because the first example we gave is that you were fucking wrong.
Well, that's why you're bringing up old shit. It's not true.
Speaking of DraftKings, baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take a swing at stacks of green with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Baseball contests. New customers can play for free for thousands in prizes with their first deposit. Pick a lineup of 2 pitchers and 8 batters while staying under the salary cap and rack up points for hits, runs, strikeouts, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code JARED, spelled correctly. It is Jared. Bet just $5 and win $200 in free bets if your team wins their game. That is promo code Jared at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 plus. Restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission, and see the show notes for details. Okay. I hope that answered people's questions. I know that there will probably be more questions once this episode drops. Maybe we haven't even launched the social yet for Baseball is Dead. When we do, I'm going to try and build up that social following so that you guys can be connected to the show. We can ask for questions if people have baseball questions for the next episode. If they have questions about like what is going on with this new project, you can ask those as well.
We're going to have to figure out what we call the listeners or what they want to call themselves. I mean, do we just, I feel like
we're going to get sued, but like the deadheads, I mean, that's,
well, yeah, that's absolutely,
that's already used.
I believe the C&D is already on its way. The cease and desist.
I mean, we can fight that in court. We can fight that in court. I feel like we're going to have to fight a lot of stuff in court.
I don't know if fighting the Grateful Dead in court is how we want to get things going. I mean, if that's a battle you'd like to fucking start, well, you know, hey,
I say we put it up to them. We put it up to them. Because I mean, I don't know. I mean, the grounds crew, it's a great name. Does it stay? I don't know. I mean, I feel like it can't stay. It's a new. You can't. It's like we have a new band. You can't start a new band. If the Grateful Dead started a new band with the original members plus some other members and called the band a different name, then you can't call them Deadheads.
Yeah, but you got drummers and shit that float around from band to band, right? You got bassists that float around. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for one group to just say, hey, you know what? That ship over there, that ship doesn't look as sturdy anymore. I don't know that I want to sail on that ship any longer. Right. I feel like I want to get on this boat. I feel like I like where that boat's going, and it looks comfy. And you know what? I'm familiar with the captain. He likes to have some cocktails. I want to ride with him. I want to ride with them.
Yeah. We'll get there. I say we leave it up to them, unless I'm sure like maybe Joey could come from the top rope and be like, yeah, we should call it that.
Call it, I don't know what to call them. I don't even know these people yet.
That's true. We don't even know these people yet. This is all new.
It's going to be so many new fans. It's going to be so many new fans. They're going to want to be called something else, I think.
I think so too.
It's a fair assessment.
I think so too. All right. It's fucking opening day. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, what a shitty, and we'll do the predictions first, and then I'm sure that there's plenty of people that are like, well, you guys were gone for so long, and Joey was never here, and neither was Jake. So we'll have to tie up some loose ends for maybe some of the bigger stories that happened. Do you want to do that now? I mean, I'm cool with doing that now.
Yeah, I feel like we should. We should do that. Just kind of ease into it, get the wheels rolling. Because look, I don't know if we necessarily need to rehash all the bullshit, but like you said, probably important to touch on it, maybe throw out a few lines, and just kind of get the beak wet.
Yeah. I just also want to say this just in case you hear any sirens. I moved. I don't. Mama, we out Saugus now. We're out of Saugus.
Wow.
If people want to call me a sellout, they can call me a sellout for that. Call me a sellout for leaving Saugus. That was a decision that I really had to grapple with for quite some time. But then when it comes down to this, Dallas, my dream for my whole life, I said, you know what I said, Dallas? I said I was gonna work my balls off until the stadium lights at Fenway were my nightlight. That's what I said. And you know what?
What?
The stadium lights at Fenway are my fucking nightlight now.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
So,
it's good. I don't know.
I'll give a reward to anyone listening who can find out exactly where Jared lives and post that publicly.
I'm already loving I'm already loving the style, Joe, because I during a live stream I actually gave Jared's telephone number out to the live stream. I took my mouth away from the microphone as to not audibly say the numbers.
You muted yourself.
Or I muted it.
But everyone read your lips.
4, 6, 3. It was great. It was fucking great.
I mean, so every now and then, like that night, I got 1 million text messages or whatever. Then it stopped after like a day. But at any time that Dallas tells that story, people remember that they have my number, and then they're like, "What's up, man? Good luck this season.
Just want to reach out.
Go Sox."
I feel like,
yes, you want to touch base.
We need to can you take us through what leaving Saugus was like? Because I have this visual in my head. And all right, I'm a huge Mother Nature guy, fellas. Big
Sure.
Mother Nature guy. Have you guys ever seen a penguin take flight from its nest?
Penguins can't fly.
Exactly.
No.
Which is why I imagine you leaving Saugus probably looked like a penguin trying to fucking fly. Just what are we doing here? I don't even know what the fuck is going. Where am I? And now, boom, you find yourself literally feet from the lights that keep you up at night in Boston.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because I can admit this, that if the Red Sox don't win the World Series in 2018, I don't have this place. I probably don't have this job. Like that championship season strapped a rocket, for lack of a better term, to my ass. And I think that that's what led to where we are right now. And I think what's really cool is that's the only banner that you can see from my bedroom. Like when you look out the window, the only banner you can see is the 2018 one, which is pretty cool.
You are going to have people on your fucking doorstep.
It's not possible. You can wave to me from the street if you'd like, but I'm kind of hoping for that at some point, where there's like a TRL aspect of like whenever I record a podcast in the studio, that people will just be outside and we can just pan to them, and just wave like Carson Daly.
You're giving it all away right now. They know, I mean, if they're listening to this, they already know where you live. That's a done deal.
That's not true.
Come on. TRL, windows facing the street. There's only one banner
it's
in your line
it's
of
a
sight.
building with windows. Let's not give them too many details.
Well, hey.
Oh man, it's the building in Boston with windows.
There's some psychos. I bet you could Google it pretty easily.
I didn't say what angle it was from.
No,
Dude,
you
they
did.
find the angles. They find angles.
Oh yeah.
So I don't even care. I don't even care if people know. I really don't. I want the TRL aspect of the podcast recording. I want.
Can
that.
we set it
like
up?
when
Like will DraftKings carry an over under on how many days until you get assassinated?
I mean, I honestly appreciate that you said assassinated and not murdered.
Yeah, well, it's got to be thought out. Like
Well,
rage
yeah,
isn't
but I
going
mean,
to get them there.
You can't be assassinated unless you're like kind of somebody.
Look at you.
It'd be a big story.
Yeah. I don't hate that at all. But yeah, so if you do hear sirens, that's because I did move out of Saugus. I feel like, I did New York for 3 years. It's not New York. It's not like it's city living, but it's not Manhattan. Like that fucking sucked. I lived right in the shit in Manhattan. This is more like if I want to go get some of Ellen's home cooking, I can still do that. It's not that bad. Fuck off.
Yeah, you don't want to stray too far away from them chicken tendies, baby.
Yeah. That's like pretty much what I've been living off of, is chicken tenders since I got in over here. They got some good ones over here.
That's what Boston's known for, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. It's chicken fingers to Boston are like crab cakes to Maryland. It's the same thing.
That's what they say.
Everybody knows that. That's day one stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to just like rack off the brain like some of the things that surprised me since the last time that we did a podcast together. I mean, first and foremost, Carlos Correa going to the fucking Minnesota Twins is what sticks out to me. And also that broke at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Right. But
I was awake.
Like, is that play? Is that, but think about the structure of the deal though, right? It's a 3-year deal.
Yeah. Opt-outs after every year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that is quite literal. I mean, again, shout out to the Hefe who gets that done for him. But like you've got to.
He switched to Boris, right?
Yeah. You've got to think that That is purely about understanding what the market is right now and the idea that if these other guys are locked up long term and you are not, but you also provide yourself the ability to not only, because what he got a bag, was it 105 mil or what is it?
Yeah, he's like the 5th highest AAV ever.
Yeah, so it's not like he's quote unquote missing the bag, but he's got an opportunity to get a very, very large one should he perform and say, you know what, I don't like the way the next 2 years look. And based on the market here, based on whoever else plays my position and is in this free agent class, I like my odds even better this year, meaning 2023 or whatever it may be. So,
yeah, he has 3 chances.
Yeah, he's got 3. Exactly, Joe. 3 chances. And this is a dude, straight up, when you think about culture in baseball and an organization and who's at the tip of that culture's spear, who was the guy who was the forward face during all the scandal bullshit, right? The guy telling people to shut their fucking mouth if they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, just dropping F-bombs all over Kenny Rosenthal. It was Correa. It was that dude. He was telling everybody. So for him to just leave, it kind of feels like you look around and you're like, all right, well, what is this club all about now? Did they lose their identity? And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's very clear that they lost their vocal leader in the Astros. But for Correa, I think it's a point where he gets to test the water. He gets to go out and perform in a different environment. And honestly, when you think about the 3 opt-outs and you think about him going to Minnesota, whether or not you like their chances to play bonus baseball in October, is there any thought that just getting him out of Houston, which inevitably would keep the question marks surrounding him if he were to have success, are they still doing? Is he still, you know what I mean? If Correa goes out and rakes and just balls, that's going to be something that people are talking about still. As tired as that drum might be of getting beat, I think it's still something people say. So maybe, just maybe, there was a thought to say, you know what? Let's get you the fuck out of Houston. Let's get you somewhere where you're going to be comfortable, maybe not a ton of pressure, and you can go out and perform and ball and let the numbers speak for themselves and put any question marks that are around you, put all those to bed about why you are as good as you are. And if it doesn't work out year 1, well, year 2. If it works out year 2, fucking see you later. Let's go get paid again.
I think it's the smartest thing to do right now for the Twins. And I feel like every team's going to start doing deals like this because it's like a win-win for even the Twins. They pay him for 1 year. If he sucks, then they get him next year and he's going to be good next year. If he's good this year and then they can make the playoffs, they make him way better. But if he's good and they suck, they can just trade him and they get stuff back.
Exactly. And this is when I saw that, Gerrit, I thought to myself, wow, this kind of they're different, but Joey, Jake, just so you guys understand, I don't know, it was probably 4 years ago or so when I started talking about 4 or 5 years ago, I started talking about guys making a ridiculous average annual contract as opposed to a really long one where their money is broken up.
We laughed at you for saying that $40 million a year salaries were on the horizon, and now it's not commonplace, but it's happened more than once now.
Right, because I remember posing the question what's wrong with paying a guy $40 million a year just to see what happens? You sign up for 2 or 3 years, let's see how it goes. And people were just oh, well, how fucking high are you right now? And I'm high to quite high, but I feel like that's still gonna. I feel like that's still something we should talk about. I feel like that's still something that could be entertained down the road. And now here we are. So, yeah, that did. I was like, wow, Correa, Minnesota, huh? He must
Minnesota.
He must be a Great Lakes guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it really moves? Obviously, we're going to get into the division predictions later, but I was looking at some of the odds.
No, it doesn't.
And I was surprised. I mean, they're plus 500. They're the second most favored team. They're over the Detroit Tigers, who are also very much an improved team. The Minnesota Twins have the second best odds to win the Central this year. Really? I was shocked because yes. plus 500 for the Twins, plus 750 for the Tigers.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Correa is a great player. Like there's nothing that I'm going to say besides I fucking hate him to take away from his on-field play. I mean, he's an outstanding player. But I was stunned to see that the Twins were now more favored to win the Central than the Detroit Tigers, who very much went out, and they were already last year. I feel like they didn't get enough love last year for the team for the season that they had, and then they made more improvements. And then you're going to have some other guys there in Detroit that are going to take some steps forward. And yeah, I mean,
we'll get to that.
I can't say I agree with it. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Trying to think of like what else. It was such a blur going from our last podcast recording until now, and a lot of things obviously happen.
Well, one thing I would like to address is for the folks, the Braves fans. I had to do a trust tree video when Matt Olson departed Oakland. I wanted to make sure that A's fans, as they do, understood what was happening and where we're going and how it's going to feel. But I also wanted Braves fans to realize just how fucking good they have it. Joey, eyes and ears. I fucking need you here. You're getting rid of Freddie Freeman. Getting rid of. I don't even like that verbiage there. Like, you're saying goodbye to Freddie Freeman. Okay? Because I know there's a lot of talk about, well, if Freddie wanted to be a Brave, he could have been a Brave. There's a lot of things. Fucking save that shit. All right? Guy's got to get paid. And he wants to go home. Wants to play in LA.
He could have got paid more in Atlanta.
Well, but it's not in the confines and the comfort of his family being around him at home, like the guys from California. Like, what do you? Come on. But again, that's why you guys felt the way you felt about Freddie leaving, because I can't argue with numbers, and the numbers say there might have been more money there in Atlanta. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. But what you need to realize is what you're getting in return. Who is coming through that door? It's not like you're getting two high-level pitching prospects and a kid in A-ball who hit 20 that also plays first base, and we'll see how it pans out 4 years from now. You're getting the best first baseman in baseball to replace your old first baseman, who was really damn good. Very fucking good. Elite level talent good. But you're getting someone better. Yeah,
I agree.
Yes, I said it. You're getting someone better.
Way better. Freddie Freeman's washed. He sucks now.
Damn. That's a strong one.
He's a traitor. And now he's on the fucking Dodgers.
Oh.
He's washed. Honestly, though, it's like, I think as a Braves fan, all the Braves fans, it's like such mixed emotions, because you can't hate Freddie Freeman because everyone loved him for like 10 years. And now, but I think this kind of was like, and would you see what Chipper Jones said? Chipper Jones like kind of came after him. Like,
oh, dude, trust me. Like, I mean, Chipper's the guy picking up your boys in fucking snowstorms. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, hey, Freddie, you okay? I got you. I'll hop on the back of the quad, bud. We'll make it out of this thing.
And to Braves fans, if Chipper Jones is saying it, like he's Jesus.
Right.
So
I was going to say, that's like from the mouth of God himself.
But I mean, honestly, like I love Freddie. But when I saw him, like when he's in the Dodgers uniform, it's gross. And it's like, it makes you not like him, which is so hard because, you got to love him. Everyone loves him. Nicest guy in baseball.
I got to be honest, though. That blue makes his eyes pop. And he looks like he was born into. There's gonna be pictures surfacing, I'm sure, of him in a Dodgers onesie at some point as a little fella. And now it's just full circle. So fucking suck on it, Joe. Wear it. But
he's Canadian. He's not even like, he doesn't even like Cali that much. He's not really a Cali guy. He's actually Canadian. He's played for the Canadian national team. And honestly, according to Chipper Jones and a lot of people, does he even want to be in LA more than Atlanta? Or is it just that's how it happened? They traded for Olson with I think Freddie Freeman wanted to be on the Braves. Do you think obviously he's not going to be depressed because he's in LA. It's not bad.
Right.
I think he'd rather be in Atlanta. I think it just went wrong. I think it was like a lack of communication.
Like how how bad does that sting to feel like you could have had the guy that you love, right? Because if we're just calling a spade, giving you the opportunity to either keep Freddie Freeman or welcome somebody new into the fold, regardless if it was going to be a Matt Olson, which in my opinion is the only other caliber player you could bring in to be like, well, all right, if we don't have Freddie, at least we have. Like, how deep does that cut? If it's just a matter of like, if it comes out later, like, well, Freddie, we didn't get back to Freddie in time, and when we did, like, we thought that we had this lined up, but it wasn't that way, and because we didn't get the phone call, like, I was in the mountains. What if Double A drops that on you? Like, oh, sorry, I was on a fucking ski lift and I didn't get Freddie's text, and I felt at that point, by the time I got down the bunny slope, it was time to make a move, and I had to get another first baseman.
I mean, it's not good, but I mean, with Olson, for me, I just think Olson, I think if you're just looking at numbers, you take emotions out of it. I think Olson's like younger player, like arguably just as good at higher ceiling because he's younger. Like, it's on a better deal. It makes more sense to have Olson. I think you have to make that deal. Also with Freddie, he literally just won the World Series.
Right.
Which gives the GM Anthopoulos like a huge leeway. Like, people, that helps so much. If they didn't win the World Series, they're probably, it's a different story. It's like, what the fuck?
Right.
Why do you get rid of Freeman? But everyone trusts this guy now.
And I think
it was a smart thing to do. How do you say no to that? Like, you don't even know Freddie Freeman's going to say yes. Who knows? Maybe he does want to be in LA, and then you can get Olson. What if you say no to that, and then Freddie goes to LA, and then you're fucked? The Braves, they have no one at first.
I got to ask you this. What was the initial feeling when you see Freddie Freeman show up was he wearing a fucking suit or a tux?
He was wearing a suit, yeah.
He's wearing a suit, just his glove in hand. Like, I don't know if he did that every year at Braves camp.
No, man. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what fucking Freddie Freeman was wearing. He's usually kind of like a low-key guy. You don't really see him. You don't really see Freddie. LA media's got a big free agent coming in, but it's not like they're filming Freddie Freeman walking in.
Oh, no. He was waiting for that moment, Joey. He was waiting for the moment that he could finally start to put the duds on, that he could finally start to be celebrated the way he's going to be celebrated in Los Angeles. A group of people who are going to appreciate him. Los Angeles Dodgers fans, Joey. Los Angeles Dodgers fans, they appreciate generational talent when they get it. And when they get generational talent, Joey, they don't let it go. They do
Joey,
not.
We don't let Dallas do this to us. He's
ridiculous.
He's mocking us to our faces without saying what he wants to really say. And I'll say this. The Mookie Betts stuff doesn't hurt me anymore.
Whoa.
Doesn't hurt.
No, but
it doesn't hurt me anymore.
Yeah, you're over it.
I'm over it. I mean, the Dodgers have personally attacked the both of us by taking our franchise players and then giving them monster like money immediately. But like the whole thing too with the Matt Olson thing, to Dallas's point, if you're a Braves fan, I get it. Like Braves fans, and I tried to explain this to Joey before he joined. We have a large Braves fan contingency that listens to this show. I mean, it's a brand new show, but I'm saying from before.
Yes.
If they carry over, great. Welcome back. We love you guys. Congratulations on the World Series again. But if you take your emotions out of it, like I'm looking at this from both sides. If you take your emotions out of it, what makes the most baseball sense? Is it giving Freddie the bag to stay, or is it trading for and then extending for a long period of time? I think Dallas's assessment of best first baseman in baseball, he's a elite first baseman, one of the best first basemen in baseball objectively. Is that the right move? Getting the younger guy who has an excellent skill set. He can hit for average, hit for power, and he's a platinum glove over there.
Crushes lefties.
Versus, I think from a baseball standpoint, the Braves did what was best for the Braves. But what I also said, to bringing it back to, what happened with Mookie Betts and the Red Sox, I get, like, baseball is fun because you have these emotional attachments to the players and you get sentimental about the players. When you look at what happened with the Red Sox and Mookie Betts and the luxury tax and the penalties, and if they paid him $30 million a year, it really would have been like paying him $100 million a year. So from a baseball standpoint, the Red Sox did what they had to do, and I understood that. But it's still like, you can still say things like, I miss Mookie, like I love Mookie, I wish Mookie was still here. You can say those things while also still understanding that the Red Sox made the best baseball decision that they could have. And I think Braves fans are in a similar boat where it's like, yeah, I fucking miss Freddie Freeman. I wish he was still here. I wish it didn't have to end like this. But did the Braves make the best baseball decision that they could have made and all that? I think that they did. They did. Yes.
Well, there's going to be, I promise you, it's going to happen. There's going to be a week in the season where Matt Olson just goes off. He's going to hit, in 7 games, he might hit fucking 8 homers over a 7-game period. And he's going to make plays defensively that you just didn't see coming. Because you're looking at Ole, how big he is, and you're going to watch him move, and you're going to think to yourself, how the fuck did he just do that? Like, that's a big dude. How did he turn that? And he got back to the bag? Like, holy shit. You're going to, and then you're going to go, yeah, we got 6 more years of this? 8 more years of this? I'm into that.
The Braves are paying Ozzie Albies, Acuna, and Olsen to combine this year less than the Mets are playing Scherzer.
Yes. And that's why this move for Olsen, like, that's why you're able to make that move. That's why you're able to do that, is because you've got Ronnie and you've got Ozzie on the ridiculously team-friendly deals that you have them on. That's what allows this quote-unquote baseball decision to be made. And counterpoint, I can understand why Braves fans would say, or their rebuttal would be, well, that's why we give Freddie the money, because we've got these dudes on team-friendly deals. We can afford to give that money to Freddie. What, as a fucking thank you? Like, he's got a trophy, he's got a ring, he's got the money. Now you just want to pay him the next 6 years for what he just did for you last year? That's where cooler heads have to prevail. And whether you like it or not, it feels like they did.
Yeah. It just sucks because it's you just want it to be a player that you can hate on the other team.
Sure.
It's just like, it would be way better if it was a guy you could just be like, yeah, fuck him, he left. He was kind of a dick anyway.
Yeah, you can't do that with Freddie, man. He's so likable, he's so lovable, and that's what at the end of it all, I do feel for Braves fans. But just knowing what you have coming, what you have already in that room in Ole, you're fucking spoiled.
I don't know why my brain went here for the next topic, but Kris Bryant to the Colorado Rockies. It's not, but it's like that being, my first reaction was, can someone please explain to me what the Colorado Rockies organizational philosophy is? Like, you gave all that money to Nolan Arenado. You said that you were going to build a winner around him. Didn't do that. Traded him. And then also paid to have him play against you. and then not only did you not have this crop of talent just fall from the sky and be like, oh, we are in a position to win now, so like, let's go get another premier third baseman. You just fucking paid Kris Bryant just to pay Kris Bryant.
Time out. Trevor Story's no longer in the building either.
Correct.
Okay, so when you
and they didn't trade him either.
No.
So you knew that you weren't going to keep Trevor Story. You knew that you had already pissed off your fan base, which, by the way, I feel like Rockies fans don't get enough love. If you go there, it's one of my favorite ballparks.
Gorgeous.
They show out. Rockies fans show out, and they might just be there because they have that like little treehouse thing, like that little bar area. Like, people will go just to go to the bar. The fans show out, right? So they exist. And you trade Nolan Arenado, who said, I want to be here. I want to fucking win here. And then you're like, all right. Yeah, I want to be here for fucking life. All right, cool, dude. Have fun in St. Louis. What? And then you just pay Kris Bryant, who's objectively not nearly as good as Nolan Arenado, and you let Trevor Story walk knowing that he wasn't going to stay there when you could have traded him and at least got some pieces to help build around the fucking random ass Kris Bryant signing for the future.
Build around the iconic Kris Bryant that you just went and locked down for the. What is it? Is it a fucking 8-year deal?
It was hefty. Yeah, it was like 184 maybe.
But that's the crazy part when you ask what is the organizational philosophy? Where are we going? What are we about?
Seven for 182.
7 for 182. I mean, for fuck's sake,
full no trade.
It feels like, and I'm gonna say this out loud. It feels like the Colorado Rockies have still not been able to identify what it is they need to do to put a winning club together, understanding where they play half of their games at, because that's a very real factor into how they have success, why they don't have success, whether it's on the offensive side where you bang it home and can't quite figure it out on the road, or you just get your tits lit at home on the mound, but are able to keep the ball down and spin it a little better at sea level, and you have success on the road. They just haven't quite figured out how to mitigate those two things. Like, how do we get better offensively away, and how do we pitch better away? Or can we figure out how to make our guys better at home? It just feels like they haven't. I don't know if it's a lack of effort trying to figure those things out, because I do believe that there are advanced metrics that would lead you down rabbit holes that would allow you to identify guys that you could plug and play and maybe even platoon to get you the kind of performances you're looking for on a consistent basis. But goddamn, when you have a Nolan Arenado and a Trevor Story and you end up paying one team to take him and play against you.
What was it, $50 million?
$50 million. They paid the St. Louis Cardinals. Here, we'll pick up the money, and then we'll give you another 50 on top of that, and we've got another player played on the same side of the infield as the guy that we're giving you, and then going to pay you to play. We're not going to do anything with him either, though. Like, we could probably get some guys back for him. I don't think that's what we want to do. I think we're going to wait this out. I think we're going to probably piss him off too, and then eventually get to a point where we've just got to say goodbye to two cornerstone players. And what we will do is go and get a guy who's not really lived up to the billing, has it in there. There's no question, because when KB hit the scene, Bryant, Rizzo and Co., Kris Bryant, I mean, look, we were having conversations about this dude getting stuck.
He's got an MVP.
And stuck in the mind. He's a fucking MVP caliber player, Jared. Thank you. But he's also a guy who, was Nolan Arenado ever going to be playing fucking left field? No.
No, and I also found it odd that
right field no.
Maybe, I don't know. He's an athlete. I could see him. I could see him going to the outfield. But the thing is, I thought it was odd when Kris Bryant went to the Giants, and you heard the reports coming out of San Francisco that they just weren't impressed by him. Mm-hmm. And then he goes out and he gets this mega deal from the Rockies, which I don't know. It's like Office Space. Like, I would love to sit down the executives of the Colorado Rockies and just say,
what is it that you do here?
What would you say you do here? I don't get it. I feel bad for Rocky fans. You had a really exciting group very recently to now it's this, where you're being openly mocked for not having an organizational philosophy. And it could not be more apparent after this past offseason. Kind of jumping around here, I did want to hit on this because it was funny. I was driving back from the Kevin Garnett jersey retirement ceremony at the Boston Garden. I see a tweet pop up on my phone that Josh Donaldson had been traded to the New York Yankees. Within 35 seconds of that news being broken, I FaceTime Josh Donaldson. He answers the phone immediately, and I'm looking at him right in the face. And I said, I just want to be the first person to say, fuck you. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you just got traded to the Yankees. And he was like, what? He's like, that.
What?
He's like, that's out there? So Josh Donaldson to the, I mean, I did not see that coming. I still think that he's going to be, if I mean, obviously with Donaldson, love him, but like we obviously, the conversation steers to health. If he can go out there and give you 120 games, I think he can surprise a lot of people with what he can bring to the table for that team.
What he brings to the table for that team, all production and all health aside, is some
balls.
Fuck you. Fuck you. And I get that there's guys in that clubhouse who have some fuck you in them, but
who?
Let me finish. But that might be stifled by the Yankee way, right?
Yeah.
Like, and when I say fuck you, let's just think back to old Aaron Judge blasting music in Fenway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's some fuck you behind that. And
didn't work though.
It has to, right. It's subtle. It's not so subtle at the same time. But when it comes to being asked a question and then being given an answer, those are very jaded answers. Those are canned answers to an extent, because a lot of those guys have an entire archive of Derek Jeter interviews to reference on how to answer questions from the beast that is the New York media. You want to find your way to the back page? Don't watch any of these Jeter interviews we're shoving down your throat so you can understand how to handle these folks. Just be yourself. Josh Donaldson, don't give a damn. You're going to ask him a question, he's going to give you an answer. And with that, I think comes a level of accountability, meaning this dude is watching, this dude being Josh Donaldson, and if he sees something going on either in the clubhouse or out on the field that isn't translating, and the bullshit answers just continue to flow through the media, that will be addressed. Oh, I promise you that will be addressed. Just ask Lucas Giolito whether or not things get addressed or not. Okay? So there's a level of accountability there and a little edge when you bring Josh Donaldson into that specific clubhouse. So I think that's got a little something to do with it.
I think he's gonna be a beast. I'm worried though, if they start playing bad and New York Post starts doing interviews with Donaldson, the Yankees fans can turn on him so quick, dude. Because the Yankees fans want a Derek Jeter, like a boring guy who's just like a nice guy who's good.
But I think the evolution is upon us in terms of fandom, where even the Yankee fans who were okay with the buttoned up approach to an extent and appreciate the, keep your nose clean type of player, they also have been yearning for someone who flies the Yankee flag that just might have a little rebel in him, just might have a little bit of a wild streak in him, and just might not be afraid to fire back. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll get them excited too, because there has been so much inexplicable stagnation from that front office in free agency that the fan base is going, who are we? Who is running the show here? What is going on? Because when the Jefe was around, we were not missing out on some of these marquee players. There's a good chance Matt Olson would be in New York right now, right? There's a good chance that Trevor Story might be in New York
Correa
in New York right now. But ain't none of that happening. And I can't believe for a minute that Yankee fans are just like, but at the end of the day, it's all good. We believe in Cashman. We fucking love Cash. He's going to be good. That ship has sailed. I believe that ship has sailed.
But they're mad about getting Donaldson, which I kind of get, because everyone's just talk shits about the Yankees. The thing the Yankees are bad at is like everyone's like, oh, they're old, they're slow, they get hurt, and Donaldson's kind of that. But he's good when he plays. Still, he's underrated when he plays. He's really good, and he's a spark. And the Yankees kind of they kind of seem they underachieve, and it seems kind of boring. Like when Anthony Rizzo got there last year, he seemed like kind of depressed. Am I wrong? Like
no, you're not wrong.
the Cubs were like always like the fucking team to be like chirping people and like doing stupid shit. And then he gets the Yankees and he's like just like hanging out.
Another guy. He was corporate Anthony. But that's why I was so shocked that he went back, because when I was doing the live stream for the wild card game, Dave said, like, because he's got guys that know Rizzo, he was like, yeah, he hates it there. Why would he go back? I was shocked. I mean, Dave's not a fucking, he's barely a baseball guy, but like he definitely knows people that know Rizzo. And he was like, yeah, he fucking hates it there. And he wasn't just saying that to get under Hubs' skin. And then he goes, but it is what it is, I guess. But the whole thing with Donaldson, and this isn't a perfect comparison, but it just reminded me of something. When I interviewed Dallas's close personal friend, Alex Rodriguez, at his house in Miami, he said that, he had been in the Bronx since 2004 and things didn't really change until they brought in Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon came in and he was like, hey, like, I'm not like your prototypical like New York Yankee, like buttoned up. Like, we're going to do things differently around here. Like, he was more of like a rock star, let your hair down. I like Johnny Damon and Josh Donaldson are different people. They're different players, but I think that they can have similar effects in that clubhouse where it's like, okay, the culture is changing a little bit. And while Donaldson might be on the wrong side of 30, he's not a role player. He's not going there to be a role player. He's going to be an everyday guy. And if he's in the lineup, you can only have that impact if you're in the lineup every day or close to every day. So if it works out that way, yeah, I can see Donaldson having that effect on that group where I almost if you could handpick any guy in baseball, Dallas, right now to get added to the Yankees roster against their will. Like, if you sign there as a free agent, it is what it is. If you get traded there, like, it's like, fuck. I mean, like, I didn't have a choice. Like, here I go. Any guy who would get added to the Yankees against their will to show up and be like, what's the fucking deal with the facial hair thing? Like, you, as a grown man, you're going to tell me to shave my fucking face? I'm going to use a word here, disappointed. I was disappointed that Josh Donaldson showed up and was like, yes, Mr. Steinbrenner, I'll shave my face, Mr. Steinbrenner.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hey, trust me,
I was disappointed.
That was part of the initial exchange that I had with JD as well, because he, while getting crushed by you on FaceTime, was also having to deal with me texting him right at that same moment. And the first text I fired off was, you've changed. You have changed. Yeah. I don't even know you anymore. And he was like, come on, bro, blah, blah, blah. Like, just trying to defend the whole thing. And that was what I thought. I was like, this is going to be the dude who's finally going to bring the Yankees into the new era where it's okay. Like, fuck the mustache stuff. Like, do what you do. You're a grown ass man. Do what you do. But no, we see those little rosy fucking baby cheeks of his. Oh God. It brought me back to his rookie season out in Oakland together when he was when he was catching bullpens. Old JD, the bullpen catcher. Yeah. So it's
you know what it is? I got a spin zone for you. If it's a situation where it's like, be the change you wish to see in the world, maybe Donaldson's like, you know what? I don't fucking care if the Yankees change. Like, in his heart, he's still a Blue Jay, I feel like. So it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if the Yankees change their culture over here. Like, you guys want to fucking be babyface pussies, then go right ahead and be babyface pussies.
Yeah, I don't know if he's I don't know if he's looking to become the next Yankee great, if you will.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he gives a fuck. But I'm excited to see what impact he can make on that group.
One thing that we have just saw take place, I believe it took place last night, when you start to talk about, as you did, things that have transpired since we've last been together. I have been beating the drum of giving the umpires microphones.
Oh.
For I don't know how long.
You do speak things into reality a lot.
I try. And I got to tell you, seeing Teddy Barrett last night explain what was going on to the fans, and I'll say this. Yes, there are going to be some just standard answers, standard responses, standard lines that the umpires are going to be given in an effort to condense and simplify the language and the response that they're giving you, because baseball is very intricate. There's a lot of detail that goes into game situation and why things are happening, and why this rule is in effect now as opposed to not being in effect, like the force out rule. Just not rule, but why is it a force out versus a tag play? Are we really going to have the umpires trying to explain all of that in real time during a game? I don't think so. That's going to be for the folks who are watching the game with somebody who might know a little bit more. Maybe that's your responsibility to just really dive in and explain. But giving the umpires the opportunity to just explain what's going on is going to give people that aren't a quote unquote diehard glued to the TV every day watching 6 games a day. It's going to give them the opportunity to hear from the folks who were umpiring the game why what they just saw happened and why it was ruled the way it was. From there, the game action is going to continue. The folks in the stands are going to be able to have those conversations. The folks at home are going to be able to look to their friend or whoever they're watching the game with and have it explained a little bit more, instead of just going, "Hey, do you care to explain this to me? What the fuck just happened?" That's hopefully going to go away, or at least have a large chunk of sense taken out of that. Like, you're going to know now what's going on. So it's important to me as somebody who wants to make sure that people understand the game, because I know that if you understand something, you are more likely to come back. You're more likely to revisit, which means you're more likely to be a regular consumer of, as opposed to sitting down, watching something, having no idea what happened, and then getting no explanation. Like, if that just continues to happen over an hour and a half or 2 hours with something, you're probably like, what the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching right now. Like, I think I'm good on this. And baseball lasts almost 4 fucking hours a game these days. So you can't imagine folks being too excited to sit through a 3-4 hour window of performance having no clue what's going on. That's like going to a ballet blindfolded and going, "Hey, what just happened? What just happened?"
I got a question for both of you. What moment in baseball history do you most wish that this had existed before?
The infield fly Braves when they're playing the Cardinals. What year was that? In the playoffs? 2013? I think 2013. Do you remember that?
Fly ball was at second base.
It was like shortstop. It was like an infield fly. It was like a bullshit ass call. I don't even know if they had replay though back then. But I mean, I'm worried, dude. If they start doing stuff like that in a park and it's like a big game and it's a bad call, and they just say like why it's a bad call, and they could die. Well,
this is where they could potentially, that could be a life-threatening mistake. Well, let's hope that that's not the fucking case here. Let's hope this doesn't turn into like European League soccer, where people have to show up to the park in armored cars because of what just happened the week before. Like, let's not get there. But I did say this, Joey. I said this also is going to put the umpires in a little bit of a spot here, because when you have to just explain the dumb rule, or you have to explain why what just happened, and it still doesn't make much sense, but it is what it is, that's going to be a tough place to exist in for the next few moments.
Yeah, if you keep fucking up, you got to keep going on the mic and saying, "Sorry, we changed it."
Right. So it does bring that. And look, a lot of folks think that that's why the replay happens the way it happens, is because if we continue to do this every time this happens, well, what you're going to start to realize is that maybe we're not very accurate in our assessment, in our game calling, and which I'll say this. Umpires have the toughest job in pro sports. Out of any other officiating crews, like home plate umpire, to call a fucking strike in a zone that physically doesn't exist, that just kind of floats and changes every single batter that steps up there. They got a very difficult job. They got a tough.
Did you see John Boy posted a video of cricket where there was some sort of, I don't understand cricket. I've never watched it. I don't know anything about it. But there was some sort of like bang bang play, and the umpire / referee, whatever the fuck they're called in cricket, he just goes like, makes like the square, and that means like, I don't fucking know. Why don't we take a look?
Yep.
Like there was no call on the field. It was just like, don't fucking know. That was it.
That's going to be great. Like, should that happen in baseball? Could you imagine the bang bang at first to end the inning, but a run scores?
Angel Hernandez's call is just like,
give him a shrug.
Yeah, bring him out here. Bring him out here. But I'm also here for the for that hot mic moment where they forget to click off. They forget to hit that mic, and then there's just like you get an entire at bats worth of shit coming over the microphone.
Yeah, a manager could just storm right out, and the umpire's looking at the manager. He's coming at me, doesn't flick it off.
Yeah, the guy.
That's all.
The umpire's like, "Hey, how about it? Hey, keep this shit down. I'm mic'd up.
Come on, Earl."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the play that immediately came to my mind was the fucking A-Rod Bronson Arroyo karate chop in the Game 6 of the ALCS 2004. If you had an umpire have to explain that to a sold out old Yankee Stadium crowd in the ALCS against the Red Sox, what, like, would we even have been able to hear what the fuck he was saying? No chance.
Yeah, the booze just drowned him.
They sent Jeter scored. They had to send Jeter back. A-Rod was out. It was like they literally had to bring the fucking riot squad out to line the foul lines because of that crowd. Imagine what they would have done if an umpire had to verbally explain what just happened and why A-Rod was out.
Didn't they stop the game after that? Was there like trash on the field?
Yeah, they threw trash on the field. They literally had police with riot shields and batons, like lining the like where the grounds crew would be positioned right before the sky was supposed to open up for a rain delay. Those were police officers.
Bro.
Yeah. Do you remember the it was, I mean, if you Google it, like just worst baseball base running blunder of all time. I forget who it was. I think it was a dude on the Giants, but he ends up just running like circles around second base, third base. I feel like he like cuts through the infield at some point in time, but like eventually going to get called out, whether or not he's actually ruled out by force of play or just being out of the baseline or whatever. But I'm here for like, and you know who's going to do it? Jim Wolf. Jim Wolf is the guy who is going to make light of a situation and crack a joke, and it's going to be hilarious. I just want to hear that first moment, like the first where you're like, and frankly, you're not allowed to run from third across the diamond back to first. You do have to tag second on the way back. So just by having no clue of what the rules are, we're going to call him out. Like I'm waiting for that to unfold, and it will. I think we'll eventually get there because umpires have a great sense of humor. Could you imagine the shit that gets talked to them on the daily?
Bro, it's like it's insane how like in baseball you're just allowed to scream at them, and they'll throw you out. But it's just like, does that happen in any other sport?
Well, yeah. There's
where you're allowed to just fucking scream, and it's hilarious.
Well, think about the star players in the NBA. Like, think about the reaction like LeBron throws out when he gets called for a foul or something goes against the Lakers. The dude is losing his mind, and he looks like he's pleading for like the last gallon of water on earth. Like, how could you take this? How could you do this? Like, you're washing your car. I've got crops that need to be fucking watered. Well, what do you like? That's what it looks like. He's just like, he's going to bat for the biggest humanitarian like battle ever. And it's like, Braun, this is the second foul in the first quarter. Like, possession's not going to change here. Like, can you chill the fuck out, dude? And because he is who he is, he's given that freedom to just absolutely berate somebody. Shit, I was watching college baseball a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so. It could be 4 months ago. I have no fucking idea. But Troy Tulowitzki had an issue with an umpire. Troy Tulowitzki is a graduate assistant by title for the Texas Longhorns. Graduate assistant coach. I don't know how many grad assistants are being given the leeway to run out there in a Big 12 conference game and just rip. Oh, absolutely. Just rip the fucking umpire.
Like, I thought he was the head coach. I didn't know he was the graduate assistant.
Yeah. So it's like, whoa, okay. But you understand why Tulo was given that freedom. Yeah. Because it's fucking Tulo. So, like, if Clayton Kershaw takes issue with something, he's going to be given a little more freedom than, like, some clown like me if I was still playing. Like, who the fuck are you, dude? Shut your mouth. Like, it's a ball, or he was out, and you just need to go back into the dugout before I fucking run you. Okay, got it. Good to go. So
thanks.
So yeah,
thanks.
I think the stars, the big name guys, they're going to be given an opportunity to ask questions. But yeah, like I don't know that there is another sport where because here's the thing: if you're wrong as an umpire, you know that you've just messed that call up, right? Like, you know what I would want to hear? Well, not hear, but think about the Armando Galarraga moment with Jim Joyce, right? Like, what does the energy feel like? What does that sound like when they overturn the call?
Be crazy.
It'd be maniacal, right? Like, you're everybody's just waiting, like, please just say what I think you're going to say right now so we can all throw beer all over each other and celebrate this. Don't fuck this up. And if they were to get on the mic and come back with some terrible response that still deems the runner safe, could you imagine that? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm sad that Joe West didn't hang on for a little bit longer, so we could have gotten some maybe a nice little country tune. I mean, Joe West with a PA mic with access to 50,000 people, we would have gotten some great moments. Maybe he'll come out of retirement. I could see him doing that too.
I was going to say, he'd be sending flyers out to people like it was his concert. Like, come check me and the boys out on Friday. We're going to be in New York at this little place called Yankee Stadium. Make sure you're there for the seventh inning.
I don't know why I thought of this one off the top, but Justin Verlander going back to the Astros, it doesn't do a ton for me other than he was more than likely, I don't know if he was a spider tack guy, but he's definitely a sticky stuff guy. I want to know what he looks like. With like, this will be the first time that he's thrown a baseball on a major league mound since the crackdown.
I would think that, and this is sticky stuff aside, but if you're somebody who has utilized data to refine your craft and to take your repertoire to the next level, then places that can appease that, places that have that kind of data and that kind of analytical power, you want to be aware of those places. Those are places that are on your list as an elder statesman, free agent, pitcher type. Like, where can I go to maximize my shit? And if I'm a guy like Verlander who's got power stuff that will obviously be declining, well, then where can I go that understands how to optimize that? And Houston is absolutely one of those places. And it's a place that he's comfortable in as well. So now if you're going, all right, look, I was a sticky guy before. I was able to kind of dodge dodge that whole shitstorm. My name wasn't getting thrown around in that. I don't know that if I go anywhere else that I'm not confident in their analytical engine or their data engines. Well, that could very well open up the floodgates for that comparison to start. Like, well, When he was in Houston, he was X, Y, and Z. Spin rate was this. Vert movement was this. Horizontal movement was this. Now he's in Detroit. And all of those things look very different than they did before. And it might be because he doesn't have the opportunity or the resources to really dive in to who he is as a pitcher like he had been able to do so in Houston in the past. So how do you avoid all that? Just re-sign. Very simple.
For a lot of money, too.
For a fuck ton.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good.
Well, he instantly anchors that staff, dude. And that staff is solid. That pitching staff, the starting rotation for the Houston Astros is a pretty good starting rotation.
Yeah, I'm looking at his spin rates. You're right. In 2018, it was high as shit. When did he go to the Astros? 2018?
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway 18.
Was
18,
he
right?
Was he there? I thought he won the World Series with them, no?
In 17?
Yeah, I thought he came halfway through. Yeah, he did.
When Bregman realized.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
there
coming
for
back.
longer than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming back?
Yeah, he can't. He went halfway through 17, so yeah, he won the World Series there.
Yeah, so you're plugging in a Justin Verlander with a dude like Framber Valdez, Jose Urquidy, even Luis Garcia. Yeah, Luis Garcia. Yeah, fucking Odor.
McCullers, but he's hurt.
Yeah, Lance, he's on the mend.
I thought he's coming back though.
No, that elbow's barking.
I don't want to go through every fucking offseason signing, but Seiya Suzuki going to the Cubs I was surprised by that in terms of the fit, I guess. I mean, the Cubs are obviously not contending for a championship this year, but they signed Stroman. You can't get better if you don't sign good players. So, I mean, him going there, I guess, is, whatever, if you get sold on the fit. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but it was just somewhat interesting.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know, because it's not like they're plugging him in to be he's not the piece that gets you over the hump. He's not that dude. I think it's just a matter of having an opportunity to go after an exciting young player. Well, how old is he? 27, 28? So he's not necessarily that young either.
Yeah, I think he's 27.
Yeah, but I mean, he comes with a ton of upside. So to your point, Gerrit, about not being able to get better if you don't make moves, maybe they just felt like with what they have roster-wise and what's available out there, this is where they were going to be able to make a move. This was where they were going to be able to make a splash without having to go and sign and spend a ton of money on some of those other free agent names. Yeah. Like, were they going to be like, they're not in on a potential Matt Olson. That's not in their cards.
What was the surprise move of the offseason?
I mean, I feel like the surprise move of the offseason is Correa to Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah. After that,
Donaldson.
I mean, the Gary Sanchez trade caught me off guard. Gary Sanchez to the fucking Twins.
But I mean, that was
and Gio Urshela. Like, Gio Urshela, like, I get it. Like, the offense is not going to be sustainable, but that's still a damn good infielder when now you're stuck with Gleyber Torres at shortstop, and we all saw what Gleyber does at short. He's not good defensively, and his offense takes a dip when he's playing shortstop compared to second base. You again love him, but you can't depend on Donaldson playing third base every day, and you just traded Gio, who can play third base for you every day. It just seemed odd. I don't know.
But they got Falefa at short.
I see a kind of Falefa.
Didn't they already say that they were using Gleyber at short?
I don't think so. I'm just looking at roster resource. It says Falefa. Penciling him at short.
Well, he's actually
Gleyber at
very
second.
good defensively.
Yeah,
all right,
Falefa,
good then.
Yeah, put some respect on the Falefa name.
Falefa.
Brian Cashman said he thought Donaldson was a better third baseman than Gio, which maybe he's just saying that at this age.
Maybe he's making shit up. I don't know. I did want to share my condolences to Cincinnati Reds fans. Ooh. What a fucking blow up that was. You've got
Mariner fans, big fan.
Yeah. Big wink going to Seattle. Yeah, love that. Suarez on the move. Our boy Amir Garrett is going to Kansas City. Sonny Gray, where did he go? Minnesota. Yeah, it's basically just Joey Votto and Moose. They're just standing there like, what the fuck just happened?
What's going on? Yeah. Lorenzen gone.
At least they got Joey Votto actually.
Yeah, Joey Votto. That was the biggest Reds news of the offseason. Joey Votto's on TikTok and Instagram now.
Yeah, not ideal.
Which is big news.
Not ideal for Reds fans. I feel you, Reds fans. I'm with you.
And I really wanted to go to opening day in Cincinnati. I feel like Cincinnati Reds opening day is probably the most prominent opening day for any team in Major League Baseball, and I was very excited to make that trip, and then they just blew it the fuck up. It is unrecognizable in Cincinnati, and that sucks because they were right there. I mean, like that team in 2020, that team was built to win. It comes down to that wild card series where they just couldn't fucking score any goddamn runs after having a pretty potent offense.
And it ran into some good pitchers. That's what happened.
No doubt. Credit to the Braves. But that Reds team was capable of much bigger things than a one and done exit.
Yeah, where'd Castillo go? Is he in Anaheim now? No, he's not in Anaheim.
Did he move? I didn't even think he moved. Did he?
Yeah, no, he's still on the Reds.
He's still there. Is it? There's just
he's on the Reds.
Okay,
but he's hurt.
Yeah, I thought he moved. Yeah,
Kenley Jansen to the Braves was surprising to me.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
But just because they already had such a good bullpen. And they don't usually, they usually spend on a lot on bullpen for they like these kind of deals, 2-year deals for a bullpen guy. And it kind of makes sense since you already, they went to the World Series. Everyone in the bullpen pitched 1,000 innings.
Well, that was
that's
what
why,
I was
right?
Say. Yeah, yes, that's why. Is because
everyone's going to be hurt. I feel like everyone's going to get hurt this year, just across the league. Pitching is going to be rough.
Well, the most important part of a baseball team in the early go, and especially with a condensed spring training, is going to be your bullpen. That's going to be the most important part of your club right now, because we understand injuries and shit happen on the position player side of things. Understood. We know that those things happen as well in the starting rotation. What happens when that starts to affect the starting rotation? Well, the bullpen starts to get worked, maybe overworked, and maybe starts to run into more innings earlier than they would like to. And so now the importance of execution from that group down there is massive and has a huge impact on how your team does over the first month, maybe month and a half of the season. So the bullpens across baseball this year specifically are what you got to keep an eye on, and what I think front offices are going to really try to keep an eye on, just in terms of keeping guys healthy, who's performing well, and how do we keep that going without running guys into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, and that's just the new meta in baseball in general. Let the guy pitch 5 innings, put in the bullpen. It's it's becoming almost as valuable as starters.
Well, and that's where, and thank you for saying that, because it'll circle ball the way back around where you're going to go, well, we got all these great dudes in the bullpen that we can run out there, after we get 4 or 5 from our starter. What do you say we start to look for those guys who can give us 6, 7, maybe 8 to start the game? And then we won't have to wear that bullpen out the way we do. Wow. Could we be ahead of the curve here? Identifying some starting pitchers? And it's oh, wow, are we back to the guys starting the game being fucking important?
I hope so, dude. I hate that. I hate like having 7 pitchers in one game.
Well, it's not conducive to selling a brand of baseball. You know, like when that's going on, you got 7 or 8 different pitchers. We know that the game regulation is 9 innings. So you're talking about moves, you know, every other inning, and there's just no flow or consistency to a game. And you're not getting those matchups that you want from, you know, the big horses on the mound against the stud player, 3 or 4 ABs against one guy. Like that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, like a star-studded lineup, like a guy like Juan Soto, he's going to see a starter twice. Right?
You think that's they might change? Do you think they'll ever change that rule? Like, I mean, how would they do? Like now they have 3 batter minimum.
Yeah.
But like, let's say you can only pitch 5 pitchers in a game.
Yeah. No, I don't think that'll happen strictly because, you know, and obviously they would have to make a concession for injuries, but that would be a loophole that would just be absolutely abused. Right? Like, oh, we only got 5 guys. The first guy we ran out there got 2 outs in the first inning. That's all he could do. So now you're telling me that we got 4 guys to cover 25 outs? Okay, well, what happens if they shit the bed? Well, then you got to throw a position player. No, I don't. The last guy, he's hurt. So is this next guy. So is this next guy. But, you know, the DL increase or the IL, excuse me, that's back to 15 days, right? So
no, I think it's 10.
Is it still 10? I thought it was 15.
They just put someone on the 10-day. I saw.
Well, either way.
Who was it? I think it's 10.
I believe you.
If it makes that much of a difference.
Well, it could, because that's, you know, 5 more days, you're not as prone to deem a guy injured because you're going to lose him for a full 15 as opposed to losing him for 10, something you can retro, and maybe it's just a matter of days.
Well, did they do that for COVID? What did they switch that for?
I believe just because of the way that bullpens were getting used. Because if you're a major league manager and you're a front office, you're doing it wrong if you're not looking at your AAA bullpen as an extension of your big league bullpen.
Yeah.
And teams become privy to that and really start to understand how to utilize that, right? And now you're watching all of that player movement. And then we can get into the whole CBA stuff about, you know, guys being able to be optioned, because you can't option a guy more than 5 times.
Yeah, how often does that happen though?
Well, I was optioned 8 times my rookie year.
Fuck.
I got a buddy, Jerry Blevins. He was optioned 8 or 9 times his rookie year.
Damn.
So, it happens.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Nay. Any rule changes that got you guys all excited?
No.
The bases, they're going to be big. It's going to change everything. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Whatever. I am here for a more athletic game. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate where it's coming from. Whether or not it holds up or whether or not the impact is felt. I don't think so. If you're just not a team that has athletes that can run, you're not going to do it. And you're definitely not going to sell me if I'm on the fence by telling me that the base is now 1.5 inches closer. Like that's not what's going to get me going and saying, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I was undecided about whether or not we were going to run this year, but knowing that we're 1.5 inches closer to second than we were before, everybody green light.
It's going to make the game fun. We're going to make it fun again. The bases are bigger and it's going to be safe.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think with any rule change, like I always just feel like, who cares for like most of them? I don't know what it is, but I just feel like they're always like super small. And I'm always like, yeah, just do it.
Well, like if you think about the mound meetings, the mound visits thing, not a big deal.
No.
Not a big deal. Everybody was up in arms about it. Not a huge deal. The 3 batter minimum, it does impact strategy, but it is replaced with different strategy, right? So the strategy of being able to go left, right, left, and match up like that, Well, now we know that this dude is going to have to face at least 3. So do we plug him in here and now, or do we wait and try to plug him in here? And so there's strategy still involved there. From an announcer's perspective, totally okay with the extra inning runner during the regular season.
Same. I love that rule.
Like,
I feel like I'm the only one. Everyone's like, fuck this. Like, it's like less fair, I guess, more random, but it's like so much more exciting.
Well, it is instant action.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. Meaning, when your team is in a tie ball game and the 10th inning starts and you've got a guy on second base, you're not walking to the fridge. You're not going to go to the bathroom. You're going to sit there. You're going to watch this. I'm watching this because the game could be over right now.
Yeah, and it's more fun to watch extra innings than regular innings when that happens. As a third party, like if your team's in it, it's like kind of like, oh, fuck,
Sure.
We're going to get screwed because there's a guy in second. But if you're watching a game, remember the Dodgers versus the Padres last year? It went like 14 innings.
Yeah.
Till like 4 a.m. Eastern time. It was lit. But also, it was also like people were like, this is getting boring. No one can score. But it's like, that's what it's been like forever. And people want to go back to that. But it wasn't that great. Extra innings games aren't that great.
Yeah, I mean, from a player's perspective, the argument has always been we've worked really hard to get here, meaning it's 1-1 through 9, or maybe it's 0-0. So our pitchers have worked their ass off. There's been some outstanding defensive efforts behind us. We're not ready to just shit can all of that to stick a guy out there on second and deem all of that hard work basically useless or unnecessary. And the response is, well, if you don't make those plays early, they score runs and we're not here right now. So it wasn't useless. It did mean something. We're just kind of expediting the action here. We're speeding that up now. So
you're saying players don't like that? Like don't like the run on second?
Yeah, there's a lot of players who, and I don't want to just put words in their mouth or label them purists, but there's so much work, Joey, that goes in to keeping a team at bay. Like, could you imagine stifling the Dodgers for 9 innings as a pitching staff, and then you're the dude who rolls out there for the 10th inning, and your first game action after watching the boys do what they've done over 9 innings starts with the dude on second base. You're like, well, shit. All right. Yeah. Stakes are a little higher now. But we just worked our ass off to keep this team off the board. And not a lot of people can do that night in, night out. We want the opportunity to continue to do that and for that to mean something.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's definitely a weird stance, but I understand it having been there.
That's what most people are saying. Everyone is like mad at the runner on second. I feel like I'm the only one thinking that it's cool.
No, yeah, I have no problem with it.
I also like pitch clock. Pitch clock.
This is where we're done. This is where
pitch clock.
Absolutely fucking.
Everyone likes the pitch clock too.
See, I'm different because I worked quickly, so it didn't matter to me. You weren't going to put a clock on me that was going to affect me one way or the other. Not going to happen. But game on the line, trying to go over a scouting report in your head, trying to remember certain things, recall. Those are all things that go into pitch selection. And you can't just process that as quickly as you do the first pitch of the game or the first time you get a runner on in the second inning. That scenario is very different than a bottom of the ninth, runners on second and third facing a lefty and trying to recall his first pitch swing rate with runners in scoring position less than 2 outs. Like, those are shit that's information that I would have. That's information that I would be studying. And now I've got to recall that. And if you're telling me I got 14 seconds to do that in, I might have to step off here. I might have to just give you some horseshit pickoff.
I don't even know how the pitch clock works. That's the thing. It's like we talk about, we argue about these rules that we've never seen be used. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not watching minor league games. People like it. I heard it's like taking away like 30 minutes from a game, which is like good.
Yeah, like as far as the product, for sure. For sure. But again, what you're trying to do. Sell the game, play the game.
You know what? I heard, who was it? It was like Buster Only said on his podcast that he said before he retires, they're going to change the rule that every game is 7 innings. That was his call.
We will see a shortened season. We will see a clipping of the schedule before we see 7 innings.
Do you think that will happen though?
Yes.
Even that?
Yep.
But then owners like the money.
They do. But they like the money that comes in October as well. And if there's more of them that are going to be there and revenue sharing is still a thing, well, the owners are going to eat just fine, Joey. They're going to
shorten the season, expand the playoffs.
They're going to
put advertisements on the mound.
You got it.
Do ads on the screen during the game. Well, that's how you shorten time. Do like integrative ads instead of doing commercials, because that's 45 minutes a game.
Well, yeah, you're also going to have the ability to interactively in real time wager on game situations. That's coming. It's already here. In real time, you're going to be able to
on DraftKings.
I don't know if DK's rocking that yet. But yeah, there's the opportunity is definitely there.
One more thing I wanted to hit on before we did our predictions. The Phillies adding Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber.
Good God.
I feel like that is Bryce Harper pulling the strings from behind the curtain saying, hey, get me some fucking help. And that's not a knock on his teammates, the offense that the Phillies have or anything like that. But I think Bryce Harper was pretty instrumental in pushing that ownership group to go out there and add a couple more bats to help out. Not that that was their only area of need, but they couldn't have what happened the last couple of years and just be like, all right, we're good. We're gonna run it back with this group. They needed to get better, and they did. And the universal DH obviously helps out a lot, creating a spot for both individuals who are not exactly the most elite defenders in the game, but can hit the shit out of a baseball. So I wanted to at least give the Phillies a little shout out for adding Castellanos and Schwarber. I feel like those. I don't think that it wouldn't have been possible without the universal DH. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. You see the picture of them all walking to the cage? It's Schwarber, Realmuto, Harper, Castellanos, and I think it was Hoskins in there as well.
Bro, Harper and Castellanos on the same team is that's like a good beef team. They could really
stir some shit up.
This would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're electric.
I'm here for the Castellanos shit talking excursion. Like let that happen. Let that be a thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's a perfect fit for Philly.
Yeah, definitely. And he's just like him and Bryce Harper are like the same in terms of just like how they act.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to run it back with Bryce. I feel like we can get Bryce in the mix this season. The fact that he won the MVP last year, and I feel like it just didn't. Like, that should be one of the biggest stories. A dude that was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at the age of 16 and then not only won an MVP pretty much out the gate, but has an extended major league career, $300 million contract, and then wins an MVP later on. Like, it's not just like Kris Bryant where it's like, oh my God, like it's, this 1-1 and we're going to manipulate his service time. He's going to get called up and he's going to win this MVP in the World Series with the Cubs. Then now we kind of see, Kris Bryant got his money. I mean, it's not like he's floundering in his major league career by any means. But the Bryce Harper story from where it started to where it is right now does not get the love and attention that it 1000% should.
Yeah, and he got hit in the face with that fastball. People forget about that.
Yeah, he just ate it.
And came back, and he was like bad in the first half. Not first half, but he wasn't even an all-star last year.
Yeah, he's a fun.
I think people are just Harper's like done it all. People have heard the stories, except for winning a World Series. But it's like he's been in the league since he was 19. But like I think that's why he doesn't get as much like attention. It's like,
well, it feels like people have moved on from the Harper hype.
Yeah, which is weird because he is like, he's one of like the biggest marketable or like biggest names in baseball. But for some reason, it's like,
well, I honestly think that a lot of like Trout turning into Trout becoming who Trout is, had something to do with that, because those were the two names that were synonymous with each other. If you're talking about Trout, you're talking about Harper. If you're talking about Harper, you're comparing what Trout has done to that, vice versa. And, Trout has just turned into what he's turned into. And Bryce, whether it be via injury or some spotty production here and there, just obviously he's not on that level, but he's a very, 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 very good baseball player.
he's one of the best.
An elite
player. I think maybe people just like Bryce Harper people just like to hate him. So if he's good, people don't want to pay attention.
Sure. I can see that. I can see that. All right, let's go, Carrabis. I'm itching for prediction.
Let's go. All right, where do we want to start? Let's crack some knuckles. Let's get into it. We do this every single year. It's our first year with Joey. Jake, do you have predictions? You want to fucking get in the mix here? Why not?
I got some predictions.
Jake's got some motherfucking predictions. I love that. Love that. We didn't even say, hey, Jake, get prepared. You don't have to get prepared if you stay prepared. And that's what Jake is all about. He's just fucking ready to go all the time. I say, Dallas, what we do is we start with comeback player of the year, work our way up, manager of the year, rookie of the year, Cy Young MVP, and then we do our divisions. Does that sound good to you?
Oh, wow. Comeback player of the year.
We're starting with comeback player of the year because we've never done comeback player of the year, I don't think, in our predictions, but it's usually a storyline that we follow throughout the duration of the year. We're trying to, like, April comes along, someone's hitting 380 that was garbage the year before. Maybe they're coming back from something, some sort of adversity, which is another part of it. I feel like we should throw this in the mix. So the comeback player of the year, Joey, why don't you kick us off with the comeback player of the year? Who do you got?
We're doing AL, NL? Both?
There's only one, I think, right?
There is?
There's only one. Yeah, I think there's only one.
Okay, well then that's about easier. I'm picking Noah Syndergaard for sure.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Fucking A.
Because,
is that yours too?
Yes.
I think it's an easy pick, dude. They're going to get, LA is just like perfect for him. He's just a fucking LA guy. He's going to be doing like yoga on the beach and like no shoes all day, wherever, and he's going to be good again.
I'm just going to follow it up because, yes, I agree. I agree with all of that, Joey. I agree with every bit of that. There's no reason to think that Noah Syndergaard finding his way to LA, being in a little bit of a less pressure-packed environment, knowing what he's capable of, like if this dude stays healthy, and I know that's a question or just, it's a comment that follows this award around because that's typically what it is, right? Either just a completely down year production-wise or he was healthy, trying to bounce back. But there's no reason that Noah Syndergaard can't go out there and make 25-plus starts, hopefully, and find his way, maybe, just maybe, on the outside of a Cy Young conversation.
That's a bold pick. That's like a little double down. Okay. I feel like mine's pretty obvious. Who would you guess my pick to be, Dallas?
Ooh. I don't know. He's not in Boston.
Mike Trout.
Fuck Mike Trout.
Comeback player. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. I could have picked him last year too. He's got to come back for the last 2 years.
Oh wow. AL or NL?
NL.
It's not fucking. Dude, I don't know. Madison Bumgarner.
The comeback player of the year for this year from my Milwaukee Brewers is going to be Christian
Yelich.
Yelich. Yes. This is the comeback season tour for Christian Yelich 2022. I don't know that we're going to see anything like what we saw when he first got to Milwaukee, but it's got to be better than what we saw the last couple of years. Got to be better than that.
Well, it would absolutely be a comeback.
Yeah. Jake, who you got for comeback player of the year?
My comeback player of the year, I got Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Wow, great. This is what I got to look forward to.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
hell yeah. Jackie Bradley Jr. comeback player of the year. That would be something.
JB.
Manager of the year. I want to say that I made these exact picks last year, but I was wrong on both, but I'm going to be right this year. This is the year that I'm correct. Also, I forgot to mention this to both Jake and Joey. No favorites. You cannot pick the Vegas favorite. So for like Cy Young, you can't go fucking Gerrit Cole or whatever. You can't do that. It's out.
Is there a Vegas favorite for manager of the year?
Yes. So the betting odds, Snit in the NL is the favorite.
What?
And yep. And I'm looking right now, and I've already broken my own rule.
Yeah. Yelich on the comeback.
No. Actually, no. I'm looking at the Vegas odds for 2021. Okay, so I don't know who the fuck. Like I'm going Montoyo for the AL.
Okay.
And Council for the NL. Council can't be the favorite for the NL. But Montoyo is the favorite for the AL last year. I don't know where if he was the favorite last year, he's got to be the favorite this year too. I just can't find any odds.
Yeah, see, my pick in the American League is also Charlie Montoyo. There's no way that the Blue Jays are going to do what I think they're going to do, and he doesn't get the acknowledgement for that. I think that is what it is. I'm forgetting his name. The manager for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, that's who I picked too. Oliver Marmol,
former teammate. No. What was it? Albert Pujols was in like fucking second grade or some shit when this guy was born, or high school when this guy was born, something like that. I don't know. Some funny story.
How about fucking Bob Nightingale breaking the news of Pujols' divorce like it was a fucking like a trade or something?
I mean,
it's like, dude, like what the fuck, Bob? I know you're anxious. I know the comeback tour is upon us, and you did a great job during the lockout, but like leave the fucking divorce shit alone, man.
That is, yeah.
Did he though during the lockout? Didn't he he was like wrong?
Yeah,
doing that. He was like, yeah, it's looking good for the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like, this guy's a legend, dude.
Deal imminent.
This guy's a legend.
And then fucking nothing. Actually, we're going to go through another week of parking lot parties before we get this figured out.
Yeah, he's a bizarro world fucking groundhog is what he is.
So I've got Montoyo and Marmol.
Okay.
I had Marmol too, just because I think you got to pick the team that's like not really supposed to be that good. Who's good? I don't know if I feel like the Blue Jays are supposed to be good, so they won't give it to him for Montero.
But there's some new blood in there.
There's no rhyme or reason to manager of the year. They just fucking whoever is like a division winner or a wild card team that hasn't won the award yet. That's who wins.
Yeah,
they don't
got
really
third
do
last year, and he got fired.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the manager of the year is a fucking crapshoot, but that's who should win it. Craig Counsell deserves it.
I also picked Scott Servais, Mariners.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, for the same reason. They could, they could be good.
Scott Servais is a good dude. Shout out to him and Julio Rodriguez. I'm sure you guys saw the video of
that was really cool.
Of Julio Rodriguez being told not only are you making the big league club, but mom and dad, they're going to be in Minnesota to watch it all go down. So we got you covered. just
the J-Rod show.
Yeah. You ready? Yeah, the J-Rod show.
You ready for the J? I don't know. I thought that was kind of awkward. I felt kind of awkward watching.
It was a little corny. It was a little corny, but his reaction was still so genuine.
Right.
Like if the whole thing was scripted, then I would have been like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well,
but his reaction was still so cool.
It's not that it's scripted, but the only reason we have footage of that is because there was obviously a staffer on the social media squad sitting in the fucking back corner with a camera. So if you're Julio and you walk into the room and you see that, you might have a sense of what's coming. You just maybe. And I was
Imagine
asked
they want to film that he's being released.
Right. And
they were putting this on TikTok.
Yeah, I was asked this, but like the thought that he didn't get to tell his parents that he had made the big league team because they were already en route to Minnesota. So I did think about that, and that does kind of suck. But at the end of the day, when you're experiencing that dream becoming a reality, that's a pretty big deal either way. So the fact that they're going to be there, for me, supersedes that he didn't get to say anything. But Jake, who we got?
Yeah, what's up, Jake?
I got Alex Cora, the manager for the Boston
Yeah, you
Red
do.
Sox.
Yeah, you do.
You know, he took
That's
a
a great
team
pick.
He took a team that didn't have super high expectations last year to sixth game in the ALCS. You throw Story in the mix. I think we're projected to finish third the Red Sox are projected to finish third or fourth this year. And yeah, I think he's got it.
That's a great pick, Jake. I love the pick. NL?
He didn't pick an NL manager.
I didn't pick him out. I'm unfamiliar with NL managers. I focus on the ones that matter to me.
Right. That's fair. That's it. I mean, it's a great pick. I love the pick.
Fuck.
And the rookie of the year, it's a great transition here because American League, I am going with the J-Rod show, Julio Rodriguez, to be the American League rookie of the year. I think Bobby Witt, who was my pick last year, Bobby Witt Jr. is the favorite. But J-Rod is my pick. And then in the NL, I don't know how he's not the favorite. Because the Pittsburgh Pirates they're just I know, Dallas. I'm sorry. But I'm not going there.
No.
That's not my pick because I don't trust the Pirates to handle this correctly. I'm going to stay out west with Joey Bart as my pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Joey Bart is my favorite, or is my pick for the National League Rookie of the Year. Yeah. I'm surprised that wasn't your pick too.
That Joey Bart wasn't my National League Rookie of the Year pick?
Yeah.
No. Because for me, the NL Rookie of the Year, I don't want to call it an easy pick, but so you and I are along the same line there. I have O'Neal Cruz. I also am fearful of how that's going to be handled, which is why I'm going Seiya Suzuki.
Okay.
And the only correct answer to the American League Rookie of the Year is absolutely Bobby Witt Jr. And the reason is because, let's say, God forbid, Julio have a Jared Kelenic type stretch. Does he find himself back in AAA? Is he back in Tacoma trying to figure it out? I would hope not, because you're talking about a dude in Julio Rodriguez who led the Seattle Mariners in everything this spring. In everything. He led them in everything. So the dude is going to have the opportunity to break camp and start the season in the big leagues. Do they at any point, should he run into a struggle, decide that he's got to go back to figure some things out? I think Bobby Witt Jr. is ready. And I think he's going to be very special.
Didn't I just say you can't pick a fucking favorite?
For a long time.
You pick two favorites.
Yeah, you're fucking up right now, Dallas.
Who's the other favorite?
Bobby Witt's the favorite.
Seiya.
Oh, Seiya's the favorite?
No,
Yeah.
I think Cruz. I thought Cruz. I saw Cruz was the favorite in the NL.
Well, I'm on the DraftKings Sportsbook, and it says...
Oh, are you?
I'm sponsored by them.
All right. We are. That is true.
Yeah, it's close though. It's Seiya Suzuki plus 380, O'Neal Cruz plus 400.
All right.
No, so
all
then
right.
I can roll
So
with
then-
Cruz. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right. Pick Cruz then.
Done.
Well, then, fuck. I was gonna pick Seiya. I didn't know that if I can't pick him, then I'll pick. I'll pick Bryson Stott. He's fire, playing third.
Really?
Alec Baum is washed. They're putting up Stott. Sorry, Baum.
Damn.
You're not.
Sorry, Mom.
You're not Baum. You're washed. And then AL, I was gonna go with Bobby Witt, but he's the fucking favorite. So
Yeah.
how about Joe Ryan? He's the
Joe
Ryan pitcher for the Twins. He's starting opening day starter. I'm pretty sure. And I was looking at his stats yesterday. They're fire. He's, I'm his minor league numbers.
Big Joe Ryan guy, huh?
People
Big
aren't talking
Joe
about him, but it's one of those things you pick them now, and the end of the season, you get the rewards.
Right.
Everyone says you're a genius because
That's true.
plus 2,500.
I don't think I've ever hit on a rookie of the year pick, so it's tough. It's tough because I think I picked Bobby Witt Jr. last year and he didn't even fucking get called up. So
Yeah, that'll definitely hamstring your opportunity.
yeah. Jake, who you got for rookie of the year? Fucking like Tristan Casas.
Nailed it. Tristan Casas, first baseman prospect for the Sox. He's going to come up halfway through the year, mash so many home runs that they're not going to have a choice but give it to him.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like that pick. Tristan Casas is he was a beast in the Olympics. I mean, if he just gets a shot, I could easily see him winning rookie of the year. That's a great pick, Jake. Do you have an NL rookie of the year?
No pick for the NL.
All right. No pick.
Jesus Christ. I love every minute of this.
Nope. NA not available. For the Cy Young, I feel like I kind of went off the grid here for both.
Really?
I don't know that you could pick either one of my picks. If I said who do you think I picked for NL Cy Young, Dallas?
Well, I don't know because I'm not looking at the favorites or I'm not looking at the sports book right now to figure that out. Who the favorite is.
So I think we got the favorites for Cy Young.
I'm seeing Max Scherzer favored.
Yeah.
Then Corbin
Scherzer
Burns.
plus 600, Corbin Burns, Walker Buehler. And then the AL, you got Gerrit Cole, Shane Bieber, Robbie Ray. I didn't pick any of those guys.
Yeah,
I feel like I pick Walker Buehler every year, but this is not the year.
I'm going two different routes as well because a couple of those guys were on my list.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, my NL Cy Young pick is Max Fried.
Wow, Max Fried. You've been on
Max
the Fried
Fried.
train. You like Maxie?
I fucking love Max Fried. I love Max Fried. Max Fried is my NL Cy Young pick. I feel like as long as he stays healthy, he's got a shot. He's an innings guy. He's a low ERA guy. He's a low traffic guy. He can be a strikeout guy. He's a bulldog. I do have some concerns over how many innings he ended up throwing last year, and then with the injury at the end of last year, like I honestly have not even seen an update on Max Fried, if we're being honest, like health wise. Like, is he fully recovered?
He's pitching, yeah.
Okay, so he's fully recovered. But yeah, anytime you have like a deep postseason run, that does tend to have an effect with pitchers the next year. I hope it doesn't with Max Fried because he's my fucking Cy Young pick. And in the American League, this is a guy that I have been high on since 2016. 2016, I saw him pitch at Fenway Park in a pitcher's duel against Rick Porcello, and I saw the potential then. He hasn't really reached his potential since the last year or so, but my AL Cy Young pick is Kevin Gausman.
Whoa.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Kevin Gausman. I mean, he's filthy.
Yeah, he is.
He is filthy. And if he can continue to build on the flyer season he had last year, like, yeah.
6th in the Cy Young last year.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. For my NL Cy Young winner, I believe this to be a marvelous pick. A marvelous pick. The fucking web slanger.
Oh, I was going to say that.
San Francisco. Noted Oakland A's fan. Noted lifelong Oakland A's fan. Logan Webb. He of the San Francisco Giants. Tremendous golfer.
I golfed with him in February.
Yeah, he is a solid dude. Got to spend a lot of time with him out in spring training this year. But, yeah, I'm going Webby. I mean, the ground ball rate is stupid. He can generate swing and miss. Yeah, I like Logan Webb.
I considered it, but I knew that you were picking him. I could just telepathically tell that you were picking him, so I didn't want to be a basic bitch.
Well, I like that. I appreciate that. The Web Slinger will be your NL Cy Young Award winner. And in the American League, Jared, I am taking a rotation mate of one Kevin Gausman.
Jose?
Can you see the Cy Young coming to you? Jose Barrios.
Jeez.
That's who I'm rolling with. Jose Barrios. I mean, Gerrit Cole is, like some might even say Gerrit Cole could be a bounce back option. Could be a comeback player of the year option, no?
Yeah, it was actually funny because I tweeted out, I was like, I think whoever wins the Cy Young Award in the American League is going to be like a random first timer. And someone was like, Gerrit Cole? He's never won one.
Dude, he's plus 425,
Cole?
which is insane. Yeah. There's no one even close.
Yeah, what's Barrios?
Barrios is it's plus 2,000.
Value pick too. I like it.
That's value, and Logan Webb's plus 14. I was going to pick Logan Webb, but
you still can.
That's trash, dude. To be honest, because like I didn't know we were going to be picking until today, so I didn't really look at it. I picked everything else, but I didn't get the Cy Young. But now that I'm looking at it, I think Aaron Nola.
Don't make that mistake.
That's a bad pick. His defense.
Yeah, he embarrassed me last year. That was my NL pick last year.
I'm not picking him. They're so bad defense. That would probably screw him over. Sandy Alcantara.
Ooh.
Because,
okay.
Miami's due for a Cy Young winner. When was the last time one of them won?
Did Levon get one?
No.
I don't know.
Did he even sniff one? I think you might have.
I don't know.
Levon Hernandez? No. Did he?
Don't fucking scoff at me. He never even got votes, but
he was an
all-star. He was an all-star in 2004 for the Expos.
Well, he'd have won the Cy Young if he had Eric Gregg with him behind the plate for every fucking start. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way. He fucking made 35 starts, pitched 255 innings, had a 3.60 ERA, a 1.24 whip, and struck out 186 batters. Like, maybe not Cy Young number. I mean, if he did that now, he would be top 5 Cy Young.
Oh, 255 innings. People would wonder where the other 2 starters in the rotation went.
Right. Yeah. He had a solid run there. Where these were his innings totals from 2000 through 2006.
Turn it up, fans, as Jared gets ready to die on the Levon Hernandez hill.
240, 226 and 2/3, 216, 233 and a third, 255 innings, 246 and a third innings, and then 216 innings. Those were consecutive seasons.
Yeah,
2000 and 2006.
I grew up a Giants fan.
You know what?
I watched all that.
Right. So Levon Hernandez, you should know that Levon Hernandez is one of the most underappreciated pitchers of our generation. Say it.
He did win a Silver Slugger.
Say he's underappreciated.
Oh, well, he's not in these neck of the woods.
Yeah, 2-time All-Star.
He was nice with the Nats too. When he came back with the Nats, like 30s, was low key good. And he's big. I feel like when you're fat, you can like pitch forever.
There is something to having less muscle fiber to tear.
The same thing with Bartolo, right? Like I'm just connecting them. But what I was saying is Sandy Alcantara is going to win it. And for the AL, I'm picking going back to back Robbie Ray.
Wow.
Because
back.
Nobody gives him any fucking respect. You know that he leads the all-time baseball at strikeouts per 9 qualify on Baseball Reference. It shows you gold.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He gives him any fucking respect.
It's
I
hard to take
want
a
to
guy
meet
serious
these people
when
that
he's
are
throwing out there
slandering Robbie Ray.
leotards. Yeah,
bring them on here.
The Robbie Ray haters, the Raiders.
Yeah, where they at? Those Robbie Ray hating motherfuckers.
Dude, they hate on him. I know a bunch of Robbie Ray haters.
If you're a Raider,
do you?
If you're a Ray hater, if you're a Raider, we need to hear from you.
Yeah. Show your fucking face. Hit us up on what, Jake? What are the Twitter handles and shit?
It's at baseball is dead with an underscore at the end.
Hit us up. Baseball is dead _ on Twitter. We probably got like 3 followers right now, and it's like my mom, Jake, and like Jake's grandfather or something. And then send us a DM, and we want to hear from the Robbie Ray haters because we're gonna put you in a box in the ground.
We'll get him on the pod next podcast. Whoever hates him the most, we bring it up. He walks too many people. He sucks.
He sucks. We should actually get Robbie Ray. I think follows me on Twitter. We should get Robbie Ray on to face the Robbie Ray haters.
Oh, you roast him.
Yeah, be like, listen, one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He's the all-time greatest strikeout pitcher of all time. It's like it's on the internet.
It's
on the internet.
Baseball. It's a reliable source. Baseball Reference. Never heard of it.
The fuck up. All right, MVPs.
Wait. Jake, did you do your Cy Young?
I didn't. I got give me Nate Eovaldi, the opening.
Nathan Eovaldi's a great pick.
That's a
great pick. It's a value pick if you think about it, right? Where did he finish?
Snap.
Where did he finish last year? 4th? He finished 4th last year, Dallas. So fuck you.
Yeah.
He's onward and upward.
Yep.
He's closing in
for sure
on actually winning the Cy Young Award.
He's got it served.
And you're being a Nathan Eovaldi hater.
No.
Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time, you scumbag piece of shit.
Yeah, me and old Nate Dogg have some history.
Yeah. That's why you don't like the pick. It's a good pick. Tell Jake it's a good pick.
I mean, it's a consistent pick. With Jake, it's a very consistent and
good
expected
pick.
Selection.
It's a great pick.
I would have gone Chris Sale personally, but
yeah.
I mean, because look that, and that's one thing. Jake, to your point about picking Alex Cora as manager of the year,
it's a good pick.
There's not a better tandem when it comes to manager and starting pitcher who have figured out how to build in off days, build in these planned off days for his guy. Nobody does that better than Alex Cora. And I don't know that anybody gives OAC the firepower to do so more than a Chris Sale. So they are, it's a dynamic duo there.
Right. You can question it all you want. Alex Cora and Chris Sale have won a World Series, and all you've won is like a fucking big ass teddy bear at a carnival.
And there's no argument from there. And it happened because of the planned off days. We know that.
Did
we know?
Yeah, we do. Wait, what were Joey's picks for Cy Young?
I picked Sandy
Sandy and the Ray
Robbie.
haters.
Got it.
I keep trying to think of a nickname if your name's Sandy, you should have a sick nickname.
Something from Greece. Something Greece related. Fucking just start calling him T-Bird. Call him the Pink Lady.
The Pink Lady.
Call him the Pink Lady. MVP. So I actually have already informed my MVP pick that he's my MVP pick.
In the American League or the National?
In the National League. I do not think that my AL MVP pick speaks English.
Is your NL MVP pick a Philadelphia Philly?
He's not.
Whoa, wow.
No, he's not.
Okay. Who is it?
Friend of the program. Actually, as part of me saying, I picked you. I said I picked you for MVP this year. Make me look smart. And then I said, me and Dallas we started a new show, and you've been a guest 2-3 times, I think, on the last 3 times. He was a 3-time guest.
Wow.
On the former program.
Okay.
So now he's my National League MVP pick for 2022, and that individual, Dallas. Why don't you go ahead and say it?
Do you think your guys' time in the cage together has inspired him?
I think he saw me take a hack and was like, as a society, we've got to be better.
Yeah, if anybody's going to carry this friendship here, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be you.
For a guy that had a lot of money, he seemed really upset that I chipped one of his bats. Just buy another one. You probably got it for free.
So are you telling me he's going to win the race with Goldie this year too? Is that what you're telling me?
I would say, if you want to run back the race, I'll run back the race.
Fucking A, I want to run back that race. Because my fucking koi, Paul Goldschmidt, that I have and have owned for several years, and I dearly love him, he has gotten bigger over the last 2 months. I feel like this koi out here has put on another 2 inches and maybe 1.5 pounds. So
he probably has diabetes.
This koi has come into this season in the best shape of his life. So I'm riding the Paul Goldschmidt train, but you are riding the Nolan Arenado for NL MVP train.
I am doing that, yes. Nolan Arenado is my National League MVP pick. And then in the American League, those big ass, fluffy, but firm cheeks.
Ain't happening.
In the American League, I'm going with Vlad Jr., who, it's only a matter of time before he wins one. It's just a matter of, will you guess the correct year? And I just happen to be guessing that 2022 is the year that Vlad Jr. wins the American League MVP.
Well, it's going to come a little longer. It's going to be longer because until Shohei Ohtani retires or is playing in a different league that Vlad isn't in, Vlad will stop.
Well, he's the favorite. He's the favorite, Dallas.
Ohtani's the favorite?
Heavily.
Yeah, heavily the favorite.
So you tell me,
who the fuck else would have been the favorite in the American League? You tell me. You get paid to analyze baseball, and you think that someone else would be a heavier favorite than the guy who hits 500-foot home runs and throws 100 miles an hour, starts the All-Star game as the starting pitcher, is the first seed in the home run derby, and bats lead off at the All-Star game. Who's that guy?
I don't know who that guy might be. I don't know who that guy.
That's because everyone that you used to blow on the Oakland A's isn't on the Oakland A's anymore. Because before it would have been like, well, Chappie. You see, the thing about Chappie is that this kid can do it all. He's not just a Gold Glove third baseman. He's a platinum. That's a platinum glove over there at third base. And you know what else? He can swing it. That kid can swing it a little bit.
He can be streaky at times, but he can fucking swing it. He can absolutely.
He's very streaky.
Why not throw out a? Oh God, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that? I don't know if I want to do that. I can't do that.
In the AL?
Yeah, in the American League.
I don't even know who you'd pick. Bo?
Yeah, it's honestly either. I don't want to get too crazy and go with the Wonder Boy.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like Jose.
I don't think that's that crazy.
I feel like Joe Ram. I feel like Jose Ramirez is like, hey, I feel like I've been disrespected. I'm not even on potential MVP graphics to start the season. When having this conversation, the prognosticators aren't even thinking about me. Like, just based on swag alone, the dude has a chain of himself wearing a chain of himself. Like, do you understand what size your testicles have to be to pull that off? To even start the conversation with your jeweler, right? Like, hey man, I'm thinking about getting a new piece. What do you like? All right. So you know what I look like. Think that, and then think with a lot of diamonds and jewels, but me also wearing a necklace. And then on that, I'd like it to be me wearing my fucking necklace. Mm-hmm. Do you get it?
Do you get it?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Fucking got it, Joe Ram. You're the fucking AL MVP. So if it's not going to be, which it will, if it can't be, which it absolutely is going to be, Shohei Ohtani, again, until he just quits playing baseball. Because, Joe, I want you to be aware of the bar that I set for Shohei last year. I asked this question. And the answer will continue to be nobody as long as this standard is met. And I said, if he makes 15 to 20 starts, and let's say he wins 10 ball games, I get it, outdated statistic, but let's say he wins 10 of those ball games, and he's got an ERA around 3.5 with a K per 9 in the double digits and a whip around 1 or so. And then he hits 25 home runs with, say, 75 to 80 RBIs. Who else? Who else? Who else? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody will even sniff that. Nobody.
For voting?
Nobody. Nobody. Vlad gave you your best shot at what that was going to look like last year. If Ohtani would have put up the line that I just suggested last year, then I think the race is closer for Vlad.
Definitely.
Definitely closer. But those were two very solid years. I don't want to call them career years, but those were pretty ridiculous years offensively for Vlad, and then what Shohei did. So if he just lives up to that billing, the bar that I set, not what he actually did, which is superhero-like, then who's going to dethrone that? Nobody.
I feel like he kind of fucked himself by having such a good year last year. Because he kind of set the bar for himself as the only guy who's ever done that. So it's like, if you're voting for MVP, it's so hard to compare him to anyone. Well, if he did what he did last year, he might still win it. I think if he does that this year, he probably won't. If you hit Vlad, he did the same thing.
This is what I always say to the Vladdy supporters, who I myself, don't get it twisted, I'm a huge Vladdy supporter. Fucking love Vlad. But you just, by virtue of being uncomparable, that says it all right there. Like, there's just not another dude to have the conversation with. Like, we talk about Ohtani and then we can talk about everybody else. That's the world we live in. That's the reality of this situation here. So, however great Vlad performs offensively, outstanding. Are you ever running Vlad out on the mound to do anything other than throw out a ceremonial first fucking pitch? No, you're not. So you can miss me with all the, but he's only half as valuable to his team as Ohtani is. And Ohtani essentially is double value for the game of baseball because you get to see him on both sides, not just one.
Well, it's like you got a great amount of curve because of that in a weird way.
He is the curve. There's no grading him.
He's got a nice curveball.
Good plenty. Good plenty.
All right, I'm going to pick for AL MVP. I would have picked Shohei. I think he's going to win. I'm going to go with Yordan Alvarez.
Ooh, wow. I like that pick.
Because I love Yordan Alvarez. He's not a cheater. Don't say that. He's from Cuba. He's fucking huge. He hits bombs. He's never not hit bombs. And how old is he now?
20.
I was going to say 20. No, is he? He's not that old.
But it's like his third year, right? Third year?
Yeah.
That's going to be his best year.
He is 24.
Yeah, he's young.
And now they need him more than ever. With Correa gone,
They're going to be leaning on your Don.
Your dong. He's going to hit dongs. Your dong Alvarez, baby.
He looks like he's 35. That's a grown-ass man, Yordan Alvarez.
And your NL MVP?
Oh, no, I'm going back to back. NL MVP is easy, Bryce Harper. Back to back. Because he's the chosen one, and people forgot.
People forgot that.
He's the chosen one. And, he's had some injuries, but, he really is supposed to be LeBron James of baseball. Why can't he still be that? He's still only, 31, 2? If he goes back to... What if Bryce Harper goes down as better than Mike Trout? It could happen.
Ooh. He's 29.
He's 29?
He's 29. He'll be 29 all year long. He turns 30 in mid-October.
Well, everyone has always said this about Bryce Harper. He's a late bloomer. So,
yeah.
I think from 29 until 35, he'll probably get 3 more MVPs.
So are we a Mike Troutless MVP podcast right now?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, it's because he is
still
also
play baseball anymore, or what?
He is. He's an easy pick. That's something to watch. Is this going to be is the injury bug going to start to bite him more and more frequently? God, I hope not.
Me neither, man.
I hope not. Wouldn't that be our luck? Like the Angels finally getting around to deciding that they should acquire starting pitching and maybe address that to an extent where they've drafted nothing but pitchers. And at that moment in time, it's like two ships passing in the night. Mike Trout and his ridiculous excellence is going one way, while the Angels, realizing that they need starting pitching, is starting to come along, and they're like, "Hey, where you going, man? What are you doing?" And Trout's like, "Oh, nothing. Just been being fucking awesome for a decade or so now, and well, that can't last forever." And so I'm getting a little older. Things are happening. But hey, I appreciate you guys drafting 20 fucking arms. That was great. Maybe somebody will show up and we'll get to the postseason.
That would be so depressing if Syndergaard throws 200 innings perfectly healthy and then Trout just doesn't play.
Oh God.
It would be the saddest thing, but it would be very on brand.
I was just gonna say that is Angels fandom in a nutshell right there. Acquire Noah Syndergaard, who just hasn't been able to get healthy. He has a career year, and the best player the game of baseball has ever seen, for whatever reason, can't stay healthy. Just starts to get ticky-tack, banged up, and oh God, don't do that. I'd like to take all of that out of the universe, please.
Did I just
Jake?
pick? Oh, Jake.
Jared, I got Rafael Devers for AL MVP.
That's a great pick. I mean, Rafael Devers, I'm pretty sure he's leading all major leaguers in home runs this spring. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's got 7.
He's got 7 spring dingers. And you're going to tell me that that's a bad pick, Dallas? Fuck you. That's the right pick.
I mean, he's poised.
He's in a position to do it. And you know what else? He's in a position for a pretty big, hefty contract extension. So wouldn't it make sense if he went out there and won an MVP to make sure that he gets it?
Who gets extended first? Aaron Judge, Rafael Devers?
Probably Judge, because the Yankees are stupid.
Judge isn't a fit? Are you saying that
the
Aaron
Yankees,
Judge, the face of the franchise, is not a fit for the franchise?
I'm saying that it would be wise to not give him what he's going to command. Yeah. If I'm the Yankees and I already have the Stanton contract and the Cole contract on the books, the DJ LeMahieu contract sucks. I mean, it's not like a backbreaker, but it's not going to age well. Yeah, I don't know that I would add an Aaron Judge extension on top of that, when I haven't been to a World Series since 2009. And how much of a difference maker has he been?
I don't know that there's any denying that when healthy, Jared, he's a marquee player.
Yeah, when healthy, no doubt. He's done more whining than winning, I would say.
Ooh, your words, not mine.
Did you have an NL pick, Jake?
No, not this time.
Okay. So we should get into the division winners over here on the DraftKings Sportsbook. It's looking like the Toronto Blue Jays are a heavy favorite here.
Oh. Well, that's my pick.
That's my pick too.
That's my pick. AL
That's
East.
everybody's pick.
Yeah.
Plus 165, the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus 200 for the Yankees.
Christ.
Plus 330 for the Tampa Bay Rays. How the fuck?
So those are the first three teams in the division. Who's next year?
The Boston Red Sox, I mean, they were also, I think, the fourth best odds in the AL East last year, and then they got within, 2 games of the World Series? So, I mean, like, it's not like the odds makers don't always know exactly what's going on.
Well, they nailed that one.
No. The Red Sox, again, two games from the World Series last year as the fourth best odds in the division. So in the American League East, wow, Toronto, New York, which is, I don't know what they're seeing. That team got worse, not better. And they think that they're the second best team. No.
Yeah,
Tampa.
that Blue Jays lineup is gonna absolutely bang.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got pitching. They've got a starting rotation with Gausman and Barrios, your AL Cy Young winner. Kukoc. Manoah.
Is Ryu still there? Manoah is a sleeper for the Cy Young, by the way.
Ryu. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to miss Robbie Ray, just saying.
Guy gets no fucking respect.
For real. They're going to favorite their favorite even they lost Robbie Ray?
Yeah. The people that don't respect Robbie Ray, I just want to make it clear, go fuck yourself.
Get off my page.
Mm-hmm.
Just need that on the record. Need that on the record. What's the Central looking like? I feel
I didn't pick the fucking Blue Jays.
Oh, who are you picking?
I'm picking the Blue Jays.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah,
absolutely. Of course, you're not an idiot.
Yeah,
Jake,
who you got?
Yeah.
I'm going to take an underdog. I'm going to take the Boston Red Sox.
That's a great pick.
Right.
It's a great pick for great value. Plus 550 right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook. You can take the Boston Red Sox on opening day at plus 550. That is value. The Baltimore Orioles at plus 15,000 to win the division right now.
Oh my God.
It's a good pick.
I legitimately forgot the Baltimore Orioles were in that division.
All right. Come on. That's not cool.
Oh,
Beautiful ballpark.
It's a gorgeous ballpark.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
What's the Red Sox success been like against the O's recent
Good?
years?
Pretty good.
Good? Decent?
No, pretty good.
Okay. All right.
I don't know why you're asking me that.
I was just a question.
All right, we'll save it.
Thought about it. AL Central.
The AL Central, the Chicago White Sox.
Show of
According
hands.
to the DraftKings Sportsbook, minus 195. You get the Minnesota Twins plus 500. Detroit Tigers plus 750. The Guardians at plus 1,000. And then the Royals at plus 1,500. Did the Twins really do enough to be, like we said earlier, plus 500 compared to the Tiger? Wait. Yeah.
I think they're way better than the Tigers, for sure.
You think they're better than the Tigers?
Way better. The Tigers are young. They don't really have pitching. All their pitchers are like, who knows? And, either do the fucking Twins, but the Twins have Buxton. Buxton's good.
Well,
He's going to be good if he plays. Correa,
See,
Buxton.
I don't like the Twins staff over the Tiger staff. I don't know. I don't know. You got two question marks there at the back end. Chris Archer, right? Who else?
Yeah.
For the Twins.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Fucking Bundy, right? Dylan Bundy.
Bundy, yeah.
Yeah,
But they got my rookie of the year pick, Joe Ryan.
They do have your rookie of the year pick.
And Sonny Gray.
But the Tigers got Casey Mize. Tigers just signed up old Eddie. Eddie Rock.
Yeah, they did.
They got Tarek Skubal, who is disgusting, by the way. Give me the lefty. Yeah, I don't know.
There's question marks on both.
There is.
I would say.
You feel like the lineup for the Tigers is young. Is that what you said? Or did you say the Twins?
The Tigers.
Well,
I just think the Tigers are young. Just that's what I mean. Are they not?
Well,
they are.
They got. I know they got Miguel Cabrera.
Well, I mean, let's think.
The torch has been passed.
They got Badu at the top of the lineup.
I met Akil Badu in Arizona, and he's like jacked.
Yeah,
he's thick.
He is what we call twitchy. Like he's fast twitch, like just a fucking ball of muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Badu, obviously, shout out to Torque, Big Torque, the Big Turn. Spencer Torkelson, he'll be there. But I feel like aside from those guys, they're
not young.
They're not young.
It's their pitchers. I mean, are they even their pitchers are not? But they're just. I don't know why I thought they were younger because of Torkelson and Riley Green, who's injured.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Pale Hose again. I feel like that lineup. Look, Lou Bob is going to continue to take steps, continue to get better.
Lou Bob, a sneaky AL MVP pick.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. They added who they add? Fucking Pollock.
Yep. They traded Kimbrel to the Doyers.
Who else they add? Josh Harrison. Jay Hayes. Don't sleep on Jay Hay. I like the way that dude plays baseball. They need some help. They need Kopech to step up. Keuchel to bounce back. But yeah, I don't see anybody dethroning the Pale Hose in the Central.
No Giolito talk in the Cy Young conversation.
There was none. No. Definitely an option, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's because I had picked him like every other year. I picked him the year. No, did I pick? Did I pick him the year that he won it?
He didn't win it.
Or no, who did I picked? Bieber.
You picked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were in on
Julie.
Bieber early.
I drafted my all 25 team under 25. Number one.
Yeah, that was actually great. Like we invited, he came in as you picked him, and we like let him know what a ridiculous pick it was, and then he won the Cy Young Award.
He's like, "Oh yeah, how about the fucking Cy, babe?" Jake, who you got? What do you got?
I only had a pick prepared for the AL East.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's understandable. I didn't. Yeah, it's totally okay. Well, that brings us to a division that we don't necessarily. I mean, if you don't want to dive in too deep here, I totally get it. Totally understand. It's just the AL West.
I'd love to break down the AL West because right now we've got the Oakland. So let's start from the bottom. The Oakland A's at plus 5,000. Holy shit. What a drop off from last year. That was a squad that really had a shot to contend for a division crown. And now the Texas Rangers, who most people say don't even have a prayer in the world at making the postseason, at plus 1,600, substantially better odds at making the postseason than the green and gold. The Seattle Mariners plus 450, the Angels at plus 390, and then your favorites to run it back once again, the Houston Astros at minus 175.
Oh.
Heavy favorites to win the AL West. The Astros, the Angels. Okay. I mean, but plus 5,000. Jesus Christ. That is
extreme value. Extreme value.
Big time value there if the green and gold can figure something out this year. Dallas, you got a pick?
Yeah, it's probably going to be the Astros.
You think so?
Yep, I do. The lineup is light. What? Correa?
Mm-hmm.
They still bang. I had talked about the pitching staff earlier, the starters. So, yeah, I like the Houston Astros again to win the division. As tough as that is, you get JV back, like I mentioned, to anchor that staff.
He sucks.
Like I just think that's a because there's questions around the Angels and their pitching staff and whether or not, like is Rendon. You get a full year of Rendon. I'm excited about that. Full year of Adele. I'm excited about that. Brandon Marsh. They've got very good reasons to think that they should be within contention. But I think the Astros just kind of outlast everybody else. I think they just outpace all the other horses.
I think it could get murky because they got with Robbie Ray on the Mariners. And everyone likes the This is going to be fun to a division to watch. I mean, everyone will like the Angels. Everyone wants the Angels to win. Mariners is the same thing. I mean, those are two West Coast teams everyone likes. And then the team everybody hates in the same division. It seems obvious to pick the Astros, but the Mariners...
Join me, Joey. Join me, Joey. Joey, come on over here. I'm picking Do it.
I'm going to pick the Mariners.
Let's go.
Holy
Let's go.
shit.
America's fucking team. America's team, the Seattle Mariners. This is the year that not only, Dallas, are the Seattle Mariners making the postseason for the first time since before World War II, they will be winning the division. This is the year.
It's just not.
This is the year, Dallas. You just said you had a whole speech earlier in the show about how the Astros lost their vocal leader. What happens? What happens when you cut off the head of a snake? What happens?
He starts to wiggle a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially when you mess with a double play combo.
Mm-hmm. What you got to say about that, Dallas, huh? You fucking Astros simp.
The veteran presence of the Houston Astros will play a vital role in their journey to another American League West division title.
Yeah, well, it's too bad.
I mean, I like the additions of Winker and Eugenio.
Mm-hmm.
They got Frazier.
They got Robbie Ray.
They do have Robbie Ray.
Yeah, they do.
No one's talking about that, and people forget about that.
Yeah, people do forget that Robbie Ray is a Mariner.
And they also have one of my favorite relievers on the planet in Paul Sewald.
Hey, or Sergio Romo.
And they do have my man Serge. He's back, baby. He is fucking back. Oh, just sit on a slide piece one time, Oakland. Here we go. One time. Oh, dear God, please. Well, that's the American League.
Yeah.
National League? We're starting the East?
Yeah, why not?
Joe, would you like to start us off here?
Yeah, it's obvious. It's the Atlanta Braves. They always win it every year. The team who wins it every year wins it every year. This is the same as last year and the same as next year. They only got better. Acuna all year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you see their first baseman?
Yeah, I very, very well aware of who that is.
Who's beating them? The Mets? The Mets, they're already fucked. No offense.
Yeah, no DeGrom.
That's, the Mets, I don't know. No offense. If you like the Mets, I
a
feel
lot
like
of Mets fans listen. I think with the DeGrom injury and also, the way that Max Scherzer's season ended last year also made me uncomfy picking the Mets, so I'm gonna deviate as well.
Yeah, dude, the Mets are cringe, man.
They're cringe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they spend a lot of money. They got a lot of players. They should be good on paper, but yeah, I'm torn because Scherzer. I love Scherzer. I hate the Mets, and I can really see Scherzer being like Tom Brady and just pitch till he's 50 and never get hurt. But you're right. he did get hurt at the end of last season, and the same thing happened in 2019. And I think, didn't 2020?
Neck issues?
It had a sore neck. I think anytime anyone goes to the Mets, it's going to be bad. The Mets are cringe. The Phillies can't.
No one's picking the Mets.
No one's picking the Mets.
Jake, you going to pick the Mets?
Nope.
Saw that coming. I feel like I knew that was going to happen.
So Braves across the board then.
Braves across the board. That's
Braves
easy.
across the board. All right.
NL Central.
What are the odds there in that division? You've got the Atlanta Braves, according to the DraftKings Sportsbook, plus 120. The Mets at plus 195. The Phillies plus 330. Interesting. Okay. Where are we going? The NL Central?
NL Central.
NL Central. I mean, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, you got 3 Cy Young candidates sitting there in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You got a bounce-back season on the horizon for former MVP Christian Yelich.
Should be 2-time MVP. He got fucked because he got hurt in September in 19. He didn't win it, but statistically, he should have won the MVP that year. He should have been back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, so is it, are we Brewers across the board here too?
No, because...
we're
what?
Not. Oh, whoa, who the fuck?
Because you forgot to mention that the Cardinals have Albert Pujols.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. At
Yadier
DH.
Molina. Yes, Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
Adam Wainwright, all retiring last year.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball gods. They're going to get free fishing poles and shit before the games. Albert Pujols could hit 700 home runs this year.
He could.
People aren't talking about that. That could be insane because he's like 21 off.
Yeah.
I think it could definitely happen. It's good, but it's come down to the wire. Dallas's MVP's on the team.
Absolutely. He's
my MVP.
No, Jared's MVP.
Both of your MVPs. Right?
Wait, Dallas, who is your fucking MVP?
I thought you picked Goldschmidt.
No.
All right.
Who did you pick for NL MVP, Dallas?
Fuck, I didn't even write it down. I picked but didn't I say it?
You said who?
Soto. Or was it we're not allowed to pick Soto?
No, Jesus Christ. You're like my dad.
Dude, you
I got to
picked
tell my
Goldschmidt,
dad
man.
the same thing 50 times. He's like, oh, yeah. Got it. And then he just does it again.
Did you write it down? Jake, who did I fucking pick?
I didn't write it down. We got to go check the tape.
Dude, you picked Goldschmidt.
I did not pick Goldschmidt.
You picked Goldschmidt. You're
Did
stuck
I pick
with
Goldschmidt?
that pick.
I did
Yeah.
not pick
You
Goldschmidt.
picked
There's no way
Goldschmidt.
I picked him.
You picked Goldschmidt.
It was a good pick. You could win it.
No, I picked.
He's going to win the division.
Well, see, why didn't I write this shit down, man?
Who the fuck did you pick?
I could have swore.
Did you pick anybody?
I think I just settled on Soto, and then you guys told me to fuck off, and we kept moving.
No, I don't even. Soto's name was not mentioned.
Yeah, we did not
He's the
bring him up.
favorite. I remember Bryce Harper's name was mentioned. I think Joey
That was
picked
mine.
Bryce Harper. Yeah, I don't think you made a pick.
Well, I'm fucking rolling with Soto.
You can't.
Go with Goldschmidt, man. It helps my argument. Got 2 MVP winners.
Oh God. No, is there? I could have swore I picked somebody.
I don't think you did because I'm looking at the names and like none of these names were brought up.
Can I go Mookie then?
Yeah, you can if you want.
He's eligible.
He is eligible.
I would go Mookie. I could have swore I picked somebody. Oh my.
What?
Oh my.
What?
Byron Buxton just absolutely. Oh, that's a highlight.
You're a loser.
Dallas, you're on a roll, bro.
I'm on fire right now.
Back to back.
Yeah, clean it up. Clean it up, dude.
So NL Central.
No Matt Olson pick for you.
No, Nope.
Well, I'm going to tell him you said that.
'Cause
I'm going to tell him
those-
you said no fucking chance I would have picked Matt Olson.
Those votes are going to be eaten up by Ronald Acuna Jr.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so we got the Central figured out.
Yep.
NL West.
I mean, why? Don't even ask me that.
It's just Dodgers across the board.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
We're good with that.
We're good with that.
Dodgers are going to win it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not even a discussion.
It's really
what are the
but
odds?
Yeah, well, yeah. What are the odds?
Minus 235.
Fuck.
Wow. Jeez.
Minus 235 for the Dodgers, plus 330 for the Padres. And plus 550 for the Giants. Does that surprise you, Dallas, being a Giants fan lifelong?
That they're plus 5? No, I think it's an understanding. You got a lot of outlier performances last year that led to a
107 win season.
The most wins in organizational history.
So it was a fluke, is what you're saying.
I don't want to call it a fluke, but you had your Hall of Fame catcher who was retiring have the second best year of his career. You had 3 guys on the mound pitch their balls off who were otherwise like woodpile type guys, like just take a flyer on them, keep them healthy, who knows, and they all pitched their ass off. Brandon Crawford had a fucking career year. Like, you got guys that are in the later stages of their career or ending performing at an all-star level. Yeah, I don't see that happening again.
Did you have any faith in the Padres at all?
No. Not anymore. They make me look stupid too many times.
Yeah, they got starting pitching depth. The collapse last year was just not easy to digest.
That was sad.
I mean, I'm still rooting for them. I hope they do well, but I won't fall for it again. They have made me look stupid too many times for me to be in their corner right now. Plus, their fans are fucking assholes.
I just want to say how funny it is that Fernando Tatis got hurt in the coolest way possible. It makes so much sense.
Riding a motorcycle?
Which one?
Yeah. Which motorcycle accident are you referring to, my brother?
I jump bikes all the time. Could they not pay him? Is that allowed? Could they void the contract?
Mm-hmm.
But they had to void the whole thing, or could they just say no, 1 year?
No, just void it until you're healthy.
Oh
like there's definitely workarounds there. But it'd be a slippery slope.
I'm sure he got a stern talking to from Machado about that.
Justifiable.
Yeah, like really? Like after all that last year, this is how you're going to start the next year?
Yeah, what? Nobody else likes to do fucking wheelies in the offseason? Sorry, he's got a life to live.
You ever see Derek Jeter wipe out on his moped? No.
So there's your division roundup. One thing I did want to touch on before we go, just shout out to all the young guys who did make the roster this opening day. The dudes like Bobby Witt Jr., who's going to win the American League Rookie of the Year, like Spencer Torkelson, who we just kind of touched on, Julio Rodriguez, a strong candidate to win the American League Rookie of the Year, Hunter Green from Cincinnati, dude blows chundos. It's just really good to see. I don't know whether or not the CBA had any impact or effect on teams making those decisions, but it's nice to see these young dudes perform and be rewarded with a dream coming true.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool that those guys are going to have those moments, and that service time manipulation is not going to steal that moment from them.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm very excited.
Getting to stand out there for opening day. It's different. It's a very welcome to the show moment.
Yes.
And this is our welcome to the show moment for you guys. Welcome to the new show. Baseball's dead. It's going to be fun. We're locked in. We'll be here twice a week throughout the season. Not that we're talking off season on opening day, but we got you in the off season as well. One podcast a week in the off season. We got 2 a week during the regular season. Again, we're going to be doing those streams on Tuesday night. I'm going to be bringing in guests. Well, people dropping by my apartment, and then we're also going to have just random people popping in. Dallas will be joining when he can. It'll be fun. Check out the DraftKings YouTube page. You'll have the show there. Spotify, iTunes for this show. Again, there will be a Red Sox podcast soon. We don't know what the fuck we're calling it yet, but it's coming. When's that coming out? Fucking Friday, Jake?
Yeah, it's supposed to drop Friday.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Dropping that Friday. And then I'm excited. I'm excited for the new show. So we're here. We're gonna be doing some shit and it'll be a lot of fun. So we appreciate you guys riding with us. If you were with us before, if you're a new listener, welcome. And let's have a good little 2022, guys.
I'm fucking into it. Any final thoughts, Joe?
Good to be here. I'm glad the fucking lockout's over. That sucked.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a great season. I'm super excited. Follow me on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter or something.
Follow me on Twitter. Baseball doesn't. Tweets, everything. Everything you need.
And Jake, can we get a weather update in Boston?
Yeah, it's about 55, a little cloudy. Pretty normal day here in April.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Jared?
What do you mean? What?
I don't know.
I just gave my final thoughts. Okay. Yeah, those were my final thoughts. Yeah.
Excited to be back on the road because as announcers, we get to travel this year. So I will be coming to a city near you very, very, very soon. And I couldn't be more excited about being back in the stadium and back around fans and feeling the energy from those fans. Because to be frank, calling a fucking baseball game from what feels like a shoe closet when you're not in the ballpark by yourself with nothing going on in the room is god awful. Shout out to the folks who make it work because behind the scenes, there's a lot of shit going on just to make that possible. And those people deserve all the credit in the world for the effort that they've put in to make that happen over the past year and a half, 2 years. But that's all said and done. And we're back on the diamond, baby. And I couldn't be more excited. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a fucking blast. Jared, next time you decide to take an extended lunch like you did, just text me.
Yeah, I'll just let you know next time.
Let me know you're going to be a while.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Well, that's that, folks. Him. Wow!